light, things that did seem out of sight. And now I take you where I go, whether it be to and fro. Every time I hear that theme song ring, it makes me wanna sing that catchy thing. It goes la 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 la.
Look at those eyes, man. That dude is gone, ladies and gentlemen.
Alex Jones is now very, very upset with me.
Look at that. That is a freaking predator right there. Who thinks he's smarter than you, thinks he's better than you, and he's gonna beat you. Pac-Man never talked to the New World Order, because Pac-Man's a loser. Pac-Man's a loser. He's not a knight at the round table.
That's true. I'm not a knight at the round. That actually is accurate.
That dude is gone, ladies and gentlemen. Pac-Man. If I was telling my children who not to be, it's Pac-Man. Man's a loser. Smarter than you. He's better than you. He's gonna beat you.
The evil's growing. It's coming. What you asked for is now at the door, scratching. So open the door and prepare to meet your destiny.
Because Pac-Man's a loser. Man's a loser. That is a freaking predator right there. Who thinks he's smarter than you, thinks he's better than you, and he's gonna beat you.
If there is anything that needs to be satirized and remixed, it is Trump talking about massive dumps. And by the way, extra points, if you can sample Trump saying massive dumps and me talking about it in a song, please do it.
Dumps. Big massive dumps. Dumps. Big massive dumps. Dumps.
Dumps. Dumps. Dumps. Dumps. Dumps. Dumps.
Dumps.
Dumps. Dumps. Dumps. Dumps. Dumps. Dumps.
Dump. Big massive dumps. Dumps.
Dumps. Dumps.
Sure you just
Dumps. Dumps. Dumps.
dump. Big massive dumps.
Donald Trump insisted multiple times that it was massive dumps that led him to lose the election, which is just
on another level, on another level.
Dumps.
Dumps. Dumps.
Sure you just
Dumps. Dumps. Dumps.
dump. Big massive dumps. Dumps.
Dumps. Dumps.
Sure you just
Dumps. Dumps. Dumps.
dump. Big massive dump.
You turn the faucet on in areas where there's tremendous amounts of water, where the water rushes out to sea, because you could have people are flushing toilets 10 times, 15 times, as opposed to once.
Dumps.
Dumps. Dumps.
Sure you just
Dumps. Dumps. Dumps.
dump. Big massive dumps. Dumps.
Dumps. Dumps. Dumps. Dumps. Dumps.
Dumps.
what is going on here? What is going on here? It's just beyond parody. I mean, massive dumps cost them the election. What is going on here? What is going on here? It's just beyond parody. I mean, massive dumps cost them the election. What is going on here? What is
Dumps. Dumps.
massive dumps that
Dumps.
Dumps. Dumps.
Toilets 10 times.
Dumps. Dumps. Dumps.
Dumps. Dumps.
Dumps. Dumps.
multiple times.
Dumps. Dumps. Dumps.
Dumps. Dumps.
Dumps. Dumps.
Massive
Sure you
dumps.
just
Dumps. Dumps. Dumps.
dump. Big massive dumps.
What
Dumps.
is going on here?
Dumps.
What
you just
is going on here?
Dump. Big massive dumps.
It's All right. Welcome, everybody. A very, very important Trump rally tonight in Arizona. Now, I know many of you, I am sure, are likely assuming that complete lunatic Carrie Lake, she can't possibly have a real shot at becoming the governor of Arizona and then being in a position to try to steal the electoral votes in Arizona in 2024, even if a Democratic candidate were to win. That couldn't possibly be the case, right? Well, read 'em and weep. Arizona Governor Lake versus Hobbs in the Real Clear Politics average. Kari Lake is ahead by 1 point. Kari Lake is ahead by 1 point in what, in a normal country, on a normal planet, in a sensible galaxy, in a universe that made sense, this would be a 60-point lead for Katie Hobbs. Extraordinarily disturbing. And today's rally is indeed in Arizona, at least in some theoretical context, for Donald Trump to support Kari Lake, although, of course, the rallies are all about himself. We're also monitoring other polling very closely. In a normal country, planet, the whole thing, Herschel Walker would be losing by 50 points. And instead, Raphael Warnock is leading by not even 4 points. Now, the only 2 October polls were mostly done before the Herschel Walker abortion scandal. And even still, you start to see this Walker decline. So my hope is that by Tuesday, we have new polling done after the abortion scandal, and it shows Walker in the toilet. That would be the hope, but we are going to have to monitor that very closely. Super chats coming in. David, could you email me your music video about mangoes and loads of money? Right. Yes, I'll just start emailing videos to everybody. Good idea. Night docs. No, I'm kidding. Listen, they're all online, but we don't have files we can email, but they're all available online. I'm not sure what you're looking to do with it, Javier, but that's a question for a different day. Night Ducks, have you seen Johnny Harris's New York Times video on election rigging? I have not. Allow me to view it first before commenting. So very, very important stuff. Why did I not stream last night? Well, last night, so on Friday, late Friday, I got the Omicron vaccine. And yesterday, even today, still a little under the weather, but yesterday was a very powerful flu-like day. And I was in no condition to do a stream. By the way, Trump didn't even start speaking till like after 10 p.m. or was it even 11 p.m., 10:30, something like that. It was not for me. It was not for me yesterday. But glad to be back today. Glad to be back today. I do want to say thank you to some incredible people, William Raybrock, Jason Sickmeyer, between the two of them gifting 3 subscriptions and really kicking us off today. And over on Twitch, a big thank you to Floormat, Chunky Strudel, Miss Scorp, all signing up via Twitch Prime, putting us at 6. We are hoping to get to 100 today. And I believe that you are all going to help us make it happen. Also, thanks to Jason Sickmeyer and Kevin Gouldy for gifting 2 more subscriptions, putting us at 8, which I very much love. So take a look at this venue at which this rally is taking place. It's a pathetic and humiliating venue. There's video here, and it's basically dirt, and they've put folding chairs on the dirt. And it's like, quite frankly, the middle of the desert, and it just looks absolutely horrible, 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 horrible. And, some of you fine folks have asked me, why don't I go to some of these rallies? And there's a lot of reasons why, but one of the reasons is, I've said before, you think I want to be fighting with people for Sanican access and just in these fetid, horrible venues. Now in this one, it's just the chairs are on top of each other. It's just dirt. It's horrible. And by the way, I'm not an anti-Arizona guy. I love Arizona. I have friends in Arizona. I've spent extended periods of time in Arizona just hanging out. And it's great. It's great. Not even shade, guys. I mean, it's like, I hope everybody's wearing their sunscreen. By the way, I alluded to this the other day, and there were people very curious about it. I'm not going to be endorsing any particular products, but I am fully on South Korean sunscreen now. I know. A lot of people saying, sir, crying, why? Why did you abandon American sunscreen? Just look into South Korean sunscreen. This is actually a serious thing. In many other countries, including in Europe, they've already approved other elements for sunscreen, whereas in the US, we're basically stuck with the same few for a very long time, thanks to the FDA. There are extraordinary light, not, with the cake sunscreens, but not the bad ingredients, the benzones and all of that stuff. I'm fully on. Now, I'm not endorsing any brand. This isn't a sponsor or anything like that. Talk to your dermatologist, get screenings for skin cancer every year, do all the things. But just look into it. Okay. South Korean sunscreen. Very, very important stuff. Okay, other super chats coming in. Bronx, the thing that scares me about Carrie is how relatable she is to conservatives who voted for Obama in 2008. The grift's a gift, but it's relatable, which does not bode well for the challenger. Agree 100%. 100%. Thank you to S. Prez for gifting 20 subscriptions on Twitch. And thanks to Tina Tiru for the Twitch subscription as well, number 29. Very, very much appreciate that. We have a coupon code today. The code is INDICT to save massively. Joinpacman.com. Okay. Coupon code INDICT. Powerful stuff. Christopher Martin, digger up. Ivanka holds secrets. I think you mean Ivana. But I'm not even getting involved in that whole thing. Cody Culp says the ignorance of one voter in a democracy impairs the security of all. JFK. What can be done about the sheer ignorance of the American voter? It seems like democracy can be hijacked by the ignorant. Any solutions? It's such a systemic issue. It goes back to edumacation to a great degree. And it's a multi-generational problem, which doesn't get fixed with like memes, I wish it did. But it doesn't. S. Prez ain't here for second place. That's exactly right. S. Prez is the top gifter of all time on the Twitch channel, which is an incredible thing. Truly an incredible thing. All right, let's look at a couple other videos. Actually, let me refresh here to make sure we've got all of the newest content for us. Here's Pillow. By the way, I didn't announce this, but Mike Pillow is going to be back on the program after trolling my Facebook page. He is going to be on Tuesday. I don't think I announced it, but people started emailing me about Pillow going to be back on the show. Did he announce it? I don't think it was me. Does anybody know has he been saying something about it? I don't even know. Let's listen to what he had to say.
The scary thing about what happened was it was the middle of the day. None of them looked like FBI. They didn't show badges right away. If it had been at night, I've been around the block. I would have bashed through them, and I would have been a high-speed chase to find a law enforcement officer.
Right.
That's the scary part, They didn't. It wasn't like you pull up with sunglasses and FBI, right?
Right.
It was the scary.
So Pillow almost ran from police. That's super interesting. Kind of surprising, I have to tell you. Carrie Lake made a transphobic speech. That's not a surprise. Let me see what else we have from the rally. Oh, by the way, I told you guys about the fetid Sani cans. Look at this. Carrie Lake got off stage. It's 87 degrees, but there's no cloud coverage. So people are getting into the shade created by the fetid porta potties to get relief. What a horrible situation. This is why I don't go to these things. Look at this. Oh my God, it is horrifying. Who on earth would go to this stuff? It's horrible. Here's Marjorie Trader Green, I guess, at the same rally.
Merrick Garland's Department of Justice and the FBI don't care about any of us because you want to know something, Ben, and you remember this clearly. Hillary Clinton declared us all deplorables. And ever since that day, the media and the Democrats and those in charge have treated all of us like we're second
Jeez. Finally made it in, says Arizona Right Wing Watch. A couple more medical emergencies while I waited in line, including a woman nursing a newborn. Oh my God, what are these people doing? Also spotted the Mormon cosplaying gladiator in line again. He wouldn't confirm it was Nathan Entrigan. Nervous. Well, dear God. Criminal. Should be completely criminal. Let's listen to a little bit of the Carrie Lake speech.
Let's reminisce now. Let's go back to the good old days.
Oh,
Just
God.
a few years ago when President Trump was in charge. Remember this? We had a record-breaking economy. We had law and order, safe streets. We had a secure border. Man,
Right.
I'd never seen anything like that. It was tight. We were optimistic. Everything was going well. And now, 19 months later, it feels like we're living in a third world country.
Yeah, I feel the same way, right? I mean, it's incredible how much things have changed so quickly. Oh, wait, no, they really haven't, actually. Thanks to Higalik as well as Rated Roy for the Twitch Prime subscriptions, putting us at 31. Continuing, just, Trump speaking in a little bit. Newsmax will eventually carry it, and so will Right Side Broadcasting. We're standing by for Trump. But in the meantime, we're checking out some videos. Here are, oh no, that's not new. I want to do new stuff. Some of these are just so horrible, though. As usual with an Arizona MAGA rally, there have been multiple medical emergencies. I've seen stretchers come and go 3 times, and some people in the VIP just called for medical attention again. Food trucks running out of drinks, no water allowed inside. It's outdoors. Oh my God. It's just unbelievable. David, sir, how about Trump mispronouncing names and places? I think I have some of those things here. Let's see. What do I have?
Swami Vive Kamunand. Suchin Tendolkar. Virat Kohli. We've endorsed JP, right? JD Mandel.
By the way, tomorrow night is the JD Vance versus Tim Ryan debate. I will be live with it on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. That's a good
We've
one.
endorsed JP, right? JD Mandel.
Yep. Other mispronunciations.
Obama.
Oh, remember when Trump mispronounced his own name?
Then he went, Donald Trump. Yeah, Donald Trump.
Yeah.
A rhino named Mitt Romney. I've had more investigations than Jesse James, Billy the Could.
Billy the Good. Man, I love that one. All right, Super Chat's coming in. David, did you see Marjorie Trader Green's husband powerfully filed for divorce? I did see that. I did. Carrie Lake had an interview on 60 Minutes Australia. She was the laughingstock of our entire country. I did see that interview. It was bonkers. What the hell happened with Kanye going wild again? I know, what a shock. Kanye's anti-Semitic. Huh? Who could have guessed it? Living in Arizona, it's typical to be outdoors in this heat. For example, maybe the state fair, but an election speech when you're stuck in place for hours, not so much. Well said. David, love the show. Keep it up. If it's TMI, I totally understand, but I've been wondering, what's your daughter's name? Congrats on the new baby. Oh, it's Shoshana Rivka. A nice Jewish name. Shoshana Rivka. Blake Daniel with the gifted subscription and is number 32 today. Very much appreciate that. Also, thanks to Dexy for the Twitch Prime subscription. An important thing. Let's listen just a little to see what they're talking about.
Their local, political parties and actually just try to figure out what's going on. But all of this, I mean, looking at all of these people, Americans are waking up. They're awake. They get it.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think there's news producers right now at CNN and a lot of other, legacy media that are looking at this and going, what in the world is going on? This guy's out of office 2 years. The population still swell. Are they scared of the midterms?
They are. When they see Trump speaking to a couple thousand people sitting on dirt, they really go, whoa, this guy may really have the staying power. We've got to really pay attention to this. Man, it's wild out there. Here's a guy with like a Trump balloon sort of thing. By the way, this is still one of my favorite clips. We covered this. This was Trump in front of a Hispanic crowd with a double glitch.
No teacher should ever be allowed to teach transgender to our children without parental consult.
So you can't teach transgender without parental consult. And then he went right into a second glitch.
No, nobody has to have parental consent, and we will totally oppose the Biden administration.
They're against the Biden administrating. That's one of my favorites of 2022. Let's see what else we have. Here's Marjorie at the rally.
Joe Biden's 5 million illegal aliens are on the verge of replacing you, replacing your jobs, and
That's called the Great Replacement Theory. They're not even hiding it anymore.
replacing your kids in school. And coming from all over the world, they're also replacing your culture.
Right.
And that's not great for America.
Right. Very, very dangerous declaration. Let's see what we have. Here's Pillow being interviewed.
I was just in Northern California, and I was up there for 5 days with all these liberal progressives, and all of them I talked to. I would walk down the streets. You know me, Brian. I just
Sure.
go down. They all come up to me, wanted pictures, but they wanted to know.
They wanted pictures. Pictures of what? Water, I guess, because it's so hot.
You know, is this stuff real? In the voting machines and stuff. And they see the problems with the gas and everything. So they're coming. They're going to vote or not vote. Do you understand?
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to either vote for the Republican.
That's true. I mean, they're either going to vote or they're not going to vote. I agree with that. Those are definitely the two options. 100% of the people are going to fall into one of those two categories. No disagreement at all with Pillow.
Republican,
right.
Or they're not going to vote at all. I believe you're going to have a lot of non-voters there. You're going to have the biggest turnout of Republicans in a midterm in the history of our world.
Yeah, our world. Wow, we have a world. Yeah. So Pillow will be joining me on Tuesday. That should be pretty interesting. Let's see what else we got. Man, Michael J. Fox, really, that's sad what's going on. What else did we have from the rally? Yeah, they're selling grift gear. Dr. Oz having an issue with his hair. Okay. Not going to follow that right now. Man, maybe that is it from the rally. No, just some kind of random pictures. Horrible traffic. Open field tackle on a person rating. They're having an issue with the metal detectors. Let's see.
And of course, we were planning on being inside right now, but they've got a little bit of problem with the technical, I guess the magmatometers.
Magmatometers. Oh, they're measuring, I guess there's volcanic activity they're worried about. I thought the issue was with the magnetometers, which you and I might know as a metal detector. The magmatometers, there could be a volcano ready to explode. And so there's been a delay.
Being reset, so we want to make sure that the metal detectors work, right?
You got to make sure the metal detectors work. I'm looking over
so.
the line. I don't see it.
I don't
know
see
if
it
it's moving,
at
but
all
I think
at
this
this
is
point.
the
Meta detector. I mean, for this guy, for someone who's doing broadcast, some of the worst diction. Truly.
We've said this before. I want to know where the left is gathering on a Sunday afternoon,
Right.
and having this many people show up.
They're
and
not.
They're not. They're having,
Right now, because it's not a cult. It's not a cult. A woman who is a speed faith artist shows off the painting of Trump she did.
Watched his Apprentice show, and I was a big fan back then, and I really saw the country going in a bad direction. So I started praying for answers and just seeking God, and I started just feeling like it was on my heart to pray that he would run for office. So when he ran,
Totally normal.
I was all about it, and I put my art behind him from day one. So it's been a dream of mine to be able to paint at a Trump rally. So this is a dream come true today for me.
Some people want to, go on a safari. Some people want to, save as many lives as possible by going into medicine. Some people's dream is to be able to paint at a Trump rally in the desert. Yeah. I mean, good. Great. Let's see what else we have. Oh, this is interesting.
Okay, and what brought you out to the Trump rally today?
President Trump.
What are you looking for?
People.
What are you looking forward to see from him today?
Oh my gosh, the unity and the healing, and just move on, and we just have to heal as a nation and come together again.
Yep.
And
Everybody knows that at a Trump rally, he really brings everybody together. Left, right, communist, Marxist, capitalist, you know, the whole thing, man. Jeez. Thanks to Boba Fettra and Dexy for the Twitch Prime subscriptions, numbers 34 and 35. I very, very, very much appreciate that. How's the finance channel doing? Well, this is super exciting. Pacman Finance has now breached the 10,000 subscriber mark. This is a non-political channel. Hold on a second. I think today is like a record for how many people we're banning per minute. It's crazy. The Pacman Finance channel is now beyond 10,000 subscribers. I encourage you to check out the channel. It's just financial stuff. Learn about credit score, bear market, IRAs, asset allocation, inflation, all these different things. Okay. You missed your chance to be one of the first 1,000. You missed your chance to be one of the first 5,000. You've missed your chance to be one of the first 10,000. But believe you me, when this thing goes nuclear, you will wish that you were in the first 25,000. So this is a great, great time to join up. I encourage you to do it as we are standing by here for Donald Trump due any minute. Any minute. Super chats? No. All right, let's continue with some of the flavor and the color of the Trump rally. Here's more interviews.
Said they're on the other side and they have bad intentions for this country. So just go out and be honest, speak the truth, speak from the heart, be who you are, and people will respect that.
Totally reasonable outfit in the desert.
Yeah, amen to that. And let's see if we can back off just a little bit. Give us some room. There you go. Thank you. All right. So, and I love your shirt, by the way, but we can't really show that on TV.
Oh, wait, what was going on? Hold on.
Be who you are, and people will respect that.
Yeah, amen to that. And let's see if we can back off just a little bit. Give us some room. There you go. Thank you.
Could anybody see what the guy's shirt was there?
All right. So, and I love your shirt, by the way, but we can't really show that on TV. There you go. All right. Thank you very much. No. It's all good. There you go. He knew what he was doing. All right, so we're glad you're out here. You can't get past me, man. Yeah.
Said they're
weird. Cheers. Here's the worship speed artist performing. Huh.
Yeah.
So is she. She's just living her element. She's a beautiful woman painting for a large crowd of American patriots.
And obviously,
I think it's really fun to watch.
Christina, it's a spiritual moment for her as well on this Sunday.
She's having quite literally a come to Jesus moment.
On this Sunday, it's a very spiritual moment that she's having with us right now, and it's just beautiful.
Uh-huh. Wow. That's a lot. A lot's happening there. All right, is that it? No, here's more.
Also lost a lot of friends because I'm a Trump fan. I don't understand it, but you know what? We're all
globalish.
All in for him.
Yeah. And you know what? We're going to pray for those people who cannot open their eyes and find out how great Trump is for this country, and Carrie Lake, and of course you get the whole roster of some great conservative Republicans representing the state.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And remember, none of these people are conservative. They're just reactionary extremists. There's nothing conservative about them.
Okay, got your Second Amendment as well. I love that. God's gun guts.
Second Amendment. What is wrong with these people?
Everything.
Yeah, look at you. And you know what? You got a cool haircut. I'm hoping.
All right, so everything going very, very well. What's happening here?
Go low. That's okay.
Got it.
You know what? It's crowded up here.
It's tight.
It's crowded up here.
And that's actually a fair point. There's more media here than at most of the rallies. Like a lot more media.
Well, there's, like they said here.
You guys know why, right? It's because local media is covering Carrie Lake. I mean, that's why. It's like as far as the people covering the Trump rally, it's Right Side Broadcasting and it's Newsmax. All right, so we're expecting Donald Trump any moment. I'm very glad to have you all here, even if it is for such an absurd event that makes no sense that it's even happening. But I'm still glad to have you all here. Let's see if we can do a voicemail. Let's see.
David, I have a question for you. If modern conservatism was a sandwich, what kind of famous sandwich would it be?
It would be a pizza in the sense that there's modern conservatism doesn't really exist. It's just reactionary nuttery. It's just something different. It's not a sandwich anymore. It's a different type of food. That's the crazy thing.
David, Cookie Clip, or AKA Denise. I called the other night about your wearing your badge of soy boy, and I mentioned Shoshana Juliet. I was off a name, and I said, well, I had that in my imagination. Her name is Shoshana. And I'm like, that name's not a regular name. And I'm like, you just announced it here while we're waiting for DJT. And I'm like, I was so excited I had to call. And some people say, are you psychic? No, not really.
Mm-hmm. All right. Very, very important declarations.
Hey, David. This is Dave in California. I think you're vastly underrating Donald Trump. The only way he won't run for office or he won't get into office if he's convicted of a crime that prevents him from running for office or if he passes away.
Okay.
But let's say he doesn't even run for any office.
Right.
Remember, if the Republicans taking the House over, that means they can put any Speaker of the House in there. It doesn't have to be somebody from the House of Representatives. And they're thinking about putting Donald J. Trump as Speaker of the House, as crazy as that may sound. So Donald Trump must be considered until he is no longer valid to run or hold any office again.
Wow. Impressive stuff. Impressive stuff. Let's see what else we got here.
David, sir, just want to say, big fan of the show. Discovered you during the lockdown. I know this is for stuff to get played on the air. This isn't to get played on the air, but I'm
All right, then I'll turn it off. It's only for stuff to get played on air. The idea that I'm going to have time to listen to voicemails not to be played on air, if it's not for air, then, you got to email in if it's anything else. Okay. Other things going on. People are saying there's something nutty going on. Let's see.
Wrong with him. He loves this nation. He loves America, and he wants to help restore America to our greatness and make it greater than it's ever been. And that's what they're afraid of.
Yeah, that's what they're afraid of. Okay, so we got Georgia, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan. We're going to be there for election night, and we've talked about this before. I'm not quite sure where you're going to go, but hey,
Pennsylvania.
We're going to hope, and we're going to be all over the country covering this. Of course, we'll be live from our Right Side Studios there in Alabama, going live there. I'll be there with Vanessa Broussard in studio. We'll have Liz Willis in the Herschel Walker camp. I'll have someone here in Arizona. I would love to go to Arizona, of course. I think, but I've got to hold it down the fort there. But we're going to be all over the place. So make sure that you really set your reminders on your phone to tune in to us, because a lot of people haven't traditionally.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to miss that. Newsmax running a Mike Huckabee commercial. That's interesting.
Sleep. Mike had real difficulty getting to sleep and staying asleep until he started taking Relaxium Sleep.
For years now, we both fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, and wake up refreshed every morning. It's made life a whole lot better. And since Relaxium Sleep's formula is so safe and effective.
Yeah, let's see what's in it. I'm sort of like curious. Let's see. Relaxium. You get free bottles. Here's actors promoting it. It's vegan and gluten-free. Okay, but like, what are the ingredients? Let's see. Do they make it deliberately difficult to figure out like what's in it? Okay. Key ingredients include melatonin, from what I've read, not particularly good to take long-term. L-tryptophan. That's the thing in turkey that everybody says, oh, it makes you sleepy. The amount you have to have is like crazy. GABA. So, yeah, the thing about GABA is, if I know the terminology correctly, sort of like released or generated by the brain as you get close to sleeping. but I don't believe it's proven that taking GABA does what they think it does. And then herbs. Oh, ashwagandha, Valarest, hops, valerian. I'm pretty sure valerian, it's not good to take long term. There's some kind of health issue with that. And then chamomile, I don't think does anything. Yeah, so this is nothing. It's melatonin with additives, and you probably shouldn't be taking melatonin long term. So I would not get that. Not a medical opinion, but I would not get that. That's what Huckabee is promoting. All right. People want one more voicemail. Oh, thanks to Chobo Styles for the Twitch Prime subscription, number 36. Oh, let me just do this. I'm going to do this once, and then we will get beyond it. Okay. Actually, let's listen to Pillow.
We went straight to calm. You know what's interesting? I was in a hotel this morning, and someone was getting ready, and I heard the conversation about going to see President Trump, and this one lady hesitated. I think she made it like a reaction. The guy goes, "What? You want communism in this country? Is that what you're voting for?" She goes, "Well, what is the definition of communism?" He said, "Put a Democrat in office, and you'll find exactly what communism looks like."
Right, because they have no idea what it is. Mike Pillow will be joining me on the show Tuesday. And maybe we can talk to him about this. Listen, real quick, okay? Our program is mostly funded by our viewers. I would love for you to grab a membership today. Quite simply and quite frankly, we have a dozen different debates that I'm going to be covering between now and Election Day. It's all funded by memberships. Tomorrow night is J.D. Vance versus Tim Ryan. Wednesday is Ron DeSantis versus Charlie Crist. Thursday, we have two debates, Mandela Barnes versus Ron Johnson and Gretchen Whitmer versus Tudor Dixon. Friday, we have Raphael Warnock versus Herschel Walker, if it happens. So there's a debate almost every single night. Next week, there's another Vance versus Ryan debate, Marco Rubio and Val Demings, the Minnesota gubernatorial debate. The week after that, we've got Oz versus Fetterman, which should be interesting. All of these things, okay, funded by the membership program. The ask is really simple, okay? You go to joinpacman.com. You can do yearly, you can do monthly, okay? Either way, it's your choice. The coupon code, it's above my head. It's INDICT. You type the coupon code in, unbelievable and beautiful things happen, okay? If you want an even bigger discount, you type in Obama. I won't even say the percentage discount because it's crazy, okay? As a member, you get an extra show every single day. You get the regular show 6 hours before everybody else, and it really is our primary source of funding. So I would love it if folks grab memberships today. I will thank every single one of you. And we will continue to pray. We will continue to pray for the indictment of Donald Trump, if it's appropriate legally. See how that's law and order? I don't go throw people in jail. I go, if the evidence points to it, we hope for the indictment. See how that is? That's law and order. It's not me saying indict this, jail that, all the different stuff. Okay. Where were we? We were in the middle of so many different things, quite frankly. People want to hear Pillow.
And they said, well, why would they let you release the 2020 election finally? I said, they wouldn't let Montgomery do it. I go, well, now they know I own it. So maybe they're going, that's my evidence, Brian. You think I can't, for $6 billion worth of lawsuits, you think I'm not going to bring that out?
Well, let's talk about the money you've spent, Mike. And we've talked about you here on this network all throughout the day. You've invested a lot of your own money.
My interview with Pillow on Tuesday is going to be different than this, just so you all know. Just so everybody knows.
That's every dime I had, every liquid dime I had, they said to me, Mike, when are you going to quit? I'm never going to quit till these machines are gone, Brian. And I don't care if I have to sell everything.
Right.
We're doing a class action lawsuit against all machines. Half a year ago, but now everybody stepped it up, the whole country. So as far as doing their own investigation, getting task force records and getting all these things. Yeah. But one of the things that's been great is that throughout that, I didn't have to worry as much about my employees because the way your audience responded, everybody, and bought my Pillow products to help our employees. Code RSBN, everybody. RSBN promo code.
You got to do it. As a matter of fact, before Trump comes out here, you got a couple minutes. Just go to the website. And this is
guys, your choices are MyPillow coupon code RSBN or join Pacman coupon code Obama. Quite a choice. Quite a contrast.
Up, put the promo code and go, wow, I saved like a bunch of money.
Yeah,
That's what you do.
We now have an overstock sale too. You can save some of the products up to 90%. I mean, I don't know if people realize we have MyPillow sleepwear, we have bathrobes, we have all this stuff that's on sale. When people come up to you, Mike, I have all your products, and they'll name the slippers, the sheets, the towels, and the pillow, and maybe the bed topper, but they're going, well, wait a minute, we have over 500 products.
Yeah.
And then also, everybody, a big announcement, mystore.com. This is my platform for entrepreneurs. This is the one that was attacked after the FBI raid, where these guys were pulling out, going, Mike Lindell's got the FBI's after him, which is a joke. But the mystore.com, we launched yesterday. We're announcing it here. The My Store shopping channel, which you can also, I made sure you could use the promo code RSB in there. Okay. There's thousands of products, Brian, all made in the USA by entrepreneurs. You can see their stories. It's amazing.
It is amazing, and you engage in, and the shopping channel's got the video of you. I mean, you're talking about products and talking about what you like about it.
Yeah.
I said that, hey, I wish I had my coffee up here. Matter of fact,
I think I'm going to have Brian come on to do the coffee.
I would sign me up.
Loves the coffee.
Really impressive stuff going on there. In the meantime, back in the world that's sane, I actually want to say thanks to Avery Mazarek for signing up at joinpacman.com. And then also Juan and Jason, as well as Jason gifting 3 memberships. Appreciate 4 people gifting memberships. I genuinely appreciate you folks. When you have a choice in coupon codes where you could go to MyPillow or you go to my website, I genuinely appreciate that. I know you have choices when it comes to coupon codes, and I appreciate you using mine. Dear God, what a mess. What a mess at this rally. Trump expected 20 minutes ago, and he should be out anytime. Thanks to David J, Blueberry Babe, and Melody for the Twitch Prime subscriptions, putting us at 44. The goal is 100. Voicemails. Yeah, I've got a couple other voicemails for you.
Hello, David. It's JT Colfax from Colorado. I wish I was down there in Arizona so I could sell these fools $100 bottles of water and probably some kind of lie about how it heals you.
Yeah.
That's what I've learned.
Well, you weren't allowed to bring in bottled water, apparently. It's completely nuts. Sarah says Ilhan will win in Minneapolis, but it will be closer than the last election. Her primary was very close. I think it's her defund the police rhetoric that set her back. What are your thoughts? I genuinely don't know because I don't know the dynamics of that district. But yeah, I think Ilhan Omar won, I'm making these numbers up, but it was like her first primary, she won super easily. Her second one, she won easily, but the last one, she only won by 2 or something like that. So her margin has been shrinking, but I have no idea why. No idea why. Thanks to Brent Penton and Sean Lebrec for signing up at joinpacman.com. New members 45 and 46. Very, very much appreciate that. Trump due any minute. Yep, any minute. Couple other voicemails.
Hey, David. I'm stoked to hear your interview with Pillow on Tuesday.
Yeah.
After watching his recent interview at the rally, ask him how much sleep he gets, because I guarantee you it's less than an hour a night. Thanks.
Oh, that's not bad. Yeah, let me ask him that. I'm going to put that on the list here. Hold on. Pillow. We've got a pillow file. New questions. Do not delete for October 11 interview. How much sleep do you get? That's a good question. I am curious about that. Put that in the pillow file. We have a file. Okay. So a viewer just emailed me the Relaxium pills. Their mom bought them. I love that. Drug-free. You're basically conceding it's nothing. It's fascinating. Contains no GMO, gluten, nuts, yeast, sugar, dairy, eggs, tree nuts, fish, shellfish, soy, corn, wheat, barley, or artificial ingredients. Yeah. This one has magnesium. Yeah, magnesium for sleep that's been floating around for a while. I'm not familiar offhand. Oh, it also has like no melatonin. That's interesting. Where they're acting like melatonin's the main thing. There's almost no melatonin in it. Anyway, buy the pills if you want. I mean, I'm just, it's a field I'm a little bit familiar with, and I don't know that I would necessarily go in that direction. It's up to you, though. Always up to you. All right. The pronunciation thing is an epidemic. Guy on YouTube calls world number one tennis Alcaraz every time, alternating every other time. Drives me crazy. Yeah. Ulysses S. Grant. Remember that one? For the pillow file consideration, why does a pillow man sell coffee? Isn't it a contradiction? How can I fall asleep if I'm all wired? Oh, that's a good question, too. Let me put that in my pillow file. I need you all producing some of these interviews. Is there a contradiction between selling coffee and selling pillows? Well, it's sort of like getting people sick and then selling them the cure. I mean, it's quite profitable, I bet. Thanks to Nicholas Arend for signing up at joinpacman.com. You are new member number 47. Folks, let's do something crazy. New member number 50 on my website, you get a free item from my online store. Whether you want a coffee mug or whatever, anywhere in the world, I will send it to you. Whoever is number 50 today. So number 50. Such a strange location for a rally. It's barely even in Mesa. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's in the middle of nowhere. I know they claim it's in Mesa, Arizona, but it seems to be basically in the middle of nowhere. It's all very odd. Here's another voicemail.
Hi, David. My name is Ryan. I'm from Ottawa, Canada, and I'm just calling you because in the next couple of years, we're going to have the potential to have 3 conservative Anglosphere political leaders.
Uh-huh.
So there's the potential to have, whether it be a Trump or a Ron DeSantis presidency, or in Canada have Pierre Poilievre get elected, and in the UK potentially Liz Truss. Or if she gets ousted,
okay, it's going on a little bit. I would say call in, and we'll get right down to business on that one. All right, we'll listen to a little more.
Something from him. We get a little something here. A little something gets thrown in the tip jar here at right side, which is nice.
They're supporting the best news outlet ever. RSBN. They've had the president's back. They've had my back for I don't know, almost a decade now, at least 6 years.
Yeah.
And use promo code RSBN. You guys, you support my employees so I can go out and do the things that I have to get done to get rid of these machines.
Yeah.
You support RSBN. There's other outlets getting the word out, but you guys have been there from the beginning, and you were the only ones at certain times.
Mike, we love you. We really appreciate it. We really do. God bless you. We'll see you, brother.
I'll go get the scale over
Christina
here.
Bob's
Here
over
she
there.
comes, the greatest broadcaster here in Arizona, Christina Bob. Here she is.
Like I said, I can never get introduced.
How can you follow
again.
Mike Lindell now? How can you follow Mike Lindell?
Absolutely not.
It's hard to follow him, isn't it?
Oh, I know. Mike Lindell's the greatest.
Yeah.
I do think the president's coming out soon, though.
You do.
Because there were supposed to be some candidates. I was listening to the comms people talking. They were supposed to come back to do more media.
Okay.
And they...
Okay, so a lot clearly happening there, and very, very important stuff. I want to say thanks to Stephanie Ebright, William Jameson, and Travis Stewart for signing up on my website. Thank you, thank you, thank you, putting us at 50. And of course, number 50 is the last one I mentioned. Travis Stewart. Travis, you get a free item from the online store. Email info@davidpacman.com to claim it. Also, thanks to Jason Sickmeyer for gifting a subscription on my website. David, sir, ask Pillow if he owns Right Side Broadcasting. It seems their entire purpose is advertising his business. He doesn't own it as far as I'm aware. David, if Trump told them the Romulans, Klingons, Khan, and the Green Sheik helped steal the election, they'd believe him. Yeah, they believe everything. Look at these people sitting in direct sun for hours on dirt with fetid Sanny cans. It's horrible. Horrible. They're going to be totally burnt out by the time the thing even starts, the way this is going. Super chats continue dumping in.
Hey, David.
I'm sorry, voicemails, I mean.
I know you were talking a lot about Herschel Walker and the recent scandal and Republicans still voting for him. I haven't heard anyone talking about this, but Herschel Walker fits the exact stereotype that every racist has about black people. He's violent with the domestic abuse that his son has accused him of and his wife. He's a brute. He's a football.
You know, I know the point that this person is getting to. I'm going to get away from this just because I'm reading ahead the transcript and it gets a little bit dicey. So I'm going to get away from that. Here's Juan with a question about, I guess, the sleep medication we were looking at there, which, by the way, has no medication in it.
Hey, David. Not all non-drugs don't have drug-like effects.
Not all non-drugs don't have drug-like effects. Hold on. Let me see if I can figure this out. Okay. So you've got drug-like effects. Don't have drug-like effects. Don't have drug-like effects. Non-drugs. Non-drugs don't have drug-like effects. Not all non-drugs don't have drug-like effects. For the life of me, I can't figure it out. I literally cannot figure that out. Not all non-drugs don't have, that is really complicated. So like a non-drug, like a banana. Not all bananas don't have drug-like effects, which means some bananas have drug-like effects, right? Some bananas have drug-like effects. Yeah, okay, so that's interesting. That's interesting. Man, Juan, you're really keeping me on my toes today, my friend. That is some serious stuff. Wow. Thanks to Watermelon Man for the Twitch Prime subscription, your new member number 52 today. I also want to say thanks to Nick Jowett, Adam Taylor, Heather Lemmer, and Michelle Scott. Thank you for signing up on my website. You are putting us at 56. Folks, we have a coupon code. The code is OBAMNA. You type it in at joinpacman.com. You get the bonus show. You get the commercial-free audio and video feeds of the show. And maybe most importantly, I say your name. I say your name on this live stream, which is maybe the best thing going. Maybe the best thing going. There are non-drug substances that have drug-like effects. Yes. Said like that, it makes sense. Now that I get.
Hey, David, quick question. So, obviously, unfortunately, it looks like the Republicans are going to take control of the House. What do you think is going to happen in regards to the debt ceiling if, Republicans take control? What I mean by this is, I feel like they're just going to vote against approving the debt ceiling. They did this last year, and I heard that bad things could happen. So I was wondering, what would happen if, they reject the debt ceiling vote? What would happen to our economy?
Yeah, listen, this question comes up so often. I don't have anything new to add. It's so speculative. Let's just wait and see. Yeah. Shout out to Deb B, says Seven Dust. Thank you. It's hard loving my Trump-loving parents, says Joe. It's sad I don't share their value system. Indeed. That does sound tough. Thanks to Savvy Lemons and Burger B for the Twitch Prime subscriptions. Let's listen to what's going on, see if we can get an update about Trump's ETA.
All the leaders respected America and they respected President Trump.
Right.
Nobody respects Joe Biden. I mean, he's rumored to have pooped his pants with the Pope. It doesn't get any more embarrassing.
There you go.
Takes them seriously. Nobody takes America seriously. We're a laughing stock right now, and that's because of Joe Biden and Democrats' stupid policies that nobody respects us.
Yeah, that's it. Period. And then, of course, President Trump, in office, he told the Taliban, all the ISIS leaders, that if you kill an American, that will be the last thing that you do. And so he really put fear in our enemies, and that's why under the Trump administration we had 0 soldier deaths for that. 0.
For the last few years.
For the last few years.
Yeah, I think it was the last 18 months or 24 months. Yeah. No, but I mean, we try to pretend that we take the moral high road.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I want to get everybody's advice on something. The moderators just brought to my attention that there is someone in Twitch chat just typing over and over, COVID vaccine increases cardiac arrest by 84%. COVID vaccine increases cardiac arrest for 84%. Now, this has already been totally debunked, okay? This was a study, quote, a self-study apparently done by the very, very weaponized medical guy from Florida. I forget the guy's name. And it's like specifically the group 18 to 39, and I think maybe only males. It's a group that has like almost no cardiac arrest. And so it's one of these small numbers things where like even if true that it's 84% higher, like even if it was perfectly done, 84, it's still almost no cardiac arrest. It's not actual science. Should we ban that person? Or like I've addressed it now, maybe if they say it again, then we ban them, because they're just like mass posting about that over and over and over again. Maybe we ban them. I don't know. Just ban them. Yeah, listen, like we don't have to go back up and find it, but if we see it again, just ban them. It's so stupid. It's very, very stupid. I mean, like think about how insane that would be. Think about that. The entire vaccinated population of the world, which at this point is it in the billions? Have over 1 billion people gotten the vaccine? 84% increase in heart attacks in the 30 days that follow. Like, come on, guys. Like, use your head. At some point, you got to apply the sniff test, you know? Okay. DB Rising, Arizona Republican leader and Orange Mafia darling Kelly Ward just pleaded the fifth to the select committee. We will look at that. We will look at that very strongly. Thanks to Brian Cherry for signing up at joinpacman.com. New member number 59. 59. Very much appreciate that. Yes, people asking, I did indeed get the Omicron booster on Friday. Terrible arm pain, even still. Very flu-like yesterday. Terrible headache and just a whole bunch of, aches. Hot, no fever, but felt very hot. And I'm doing much better today. Voicemails are continuing to just pour in.
Hi, David. It's Frank from Florida. Can't wait to watch Tuesday night. There's some chatter on the internet about Trump asking Pillow to run for VP. That's going to be their ticket.
Imagine that.
Maybe you could ask him if there's any truth to that. Thanks.
That's not a bad question. I mean, I don't think he would tell me. But I think it might be interesting just to get his reaction. Has Trump spoken to you about being his VP? Has Trump spoken to you? And I'll butter him up, like, because you're so beloved. Because you're so beloved within the MAGA movement, some have speculated that you could be Trump's 2024 VP. Has Trump spoken to you about that? I'm putting this in my pillow file. That could be interesting. David, want to say thank you for the finance channel. My family are big Dave Ramsey fans. Your channel has helped me a lot. Well, my pleasure, Mason. Yeah, we've got a new channel. It is the Pacman Finance channel. You can find it at youtube.com/Pacman Finance. Oh, hold on. We can't even see. Let's see here. There we go. It's a great channel. It really is. And we've gotten our first 10,000 subscribers, and it is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Trump's about 40 minutes late. Expected any moment. Expected quite literally any moment here. Other voicemails. Yeah, they're pouring in here.
Hey, David. I usually go by the handle Micro Kimmy on Twitch, but my name is Kimmy. I'm from Schertz, Texas, and I just wanted to bring to your attention,
please,
a amusement park, or I don't even know what to call it, but it was a place I went to on field trips as a child in Edmond, Oklahoma. It was called Enterprise Square, and websites still exist.
Hello? What the hell?
Please don't play this.
Oh.
I'm gonna.
Okay, well, too late for that, Kimmy. I'm sorry, but sounds very interesting. Sounds very interesting. Michael says anybody spreading COVID disinfo this late in the game is acting in bar faith. I guess bad faith, and should be auto banned. No question about it. Zero tolerance. Yeah, I tend to kind of go in that direction at this point. That does make a lot of sense to me. Let's see what else we have here.
David, I almost choked on a supplement after you played my voicemail. I would have needed real drugs if I really choked on it. That was hilarious, man.
All right.
But you should listen to the voicemail that I left about the military.
Well, we've already played 2 of your voicemails, Juan. I don't know that we're going to be able to do that. Let's see.
David, quick question, and this is not political. Would you invite the world's best player, Lionel Messi, to the David Pacman Show?
Of course.
Thanks, man.
Of course. In fact, I already ordered an Argentina soccer onesie for my daughter. What with the World Cup coming up, I think it's going to be very, very interesting. It's going to be very, very interesting World Cup. Looking forward to it very, very strongly. I want to say thank you to Frank Jones, Carrie Moon, and Lawrence Pesta, all of whom just got memberships on my website, putting us at 62. Folks, I believe we can get to 100. I believe we can. But not everybody necessarily. But now, why isn't latest subscription showing up here? I've got to bring it up. There it is. There it is. There it is. We always want the latest subscription there. Beautiful. Okay.
Sir, please ask Pillow what he ordered at Hardee's when the FBI raided him. I don't know what he was getting.
Or were you going to order at Hardee's the day of the FBI raid? That's a good question. That's a good question.
David, sir, cheers, Mars. No, just stopping by. I wanted to ask if you are planning to ask Mike Pillow on Tuesday whether he still believes that Trump is going to be reinstated. It's been 2 years now at this.
Yeah, that's a good question. Do you believe Trump will be reinstated before January 2025, which is when the next presidential winner will be inaugurated? That's a good question. If you're just joining us, Mike Pillow is going to be on the show on Tuesday, unless he cancels. Yeah, I'll ask. Yeah, like who is the current president? That's just like a standard gut check at this point with these guys. I will ask that.
David, will you finally launch an OnlyFans account? I mean, you're a finance guy. You should know it's always a good idea to diversify your income streams, right? So where's the OnlyFans, man?
Yeah. Right. That's good. Okay.
Hi, this is Melody. I'm a new subscriber to subscribe today. My partner and I were wondering how you manage to stay so calm while you're watching things like this.
Oh.
Very calm commentary. We do enjoy it, but I'm usually the one like flipping out and screaming at the TV. I even said my blood pressure went up during the last Trump rally. So what's your secret to staying calm?
Yeah, so there's a couple different things here. One is desensitization. Okay? One is desensitization. The other is just kind of an understanding. Let's see if I can do this. So there's this thing from like Stoic philosophy where let's see if I can draw. Oh, no, that's not. How can I draw a circle with this thing? Oh, here we go. Circles. So you've got like, if you imagine these circles, there's like, let's see if I can do this. Oh man, I don't know. I'm gonna have to draw them freehand. Oh God, and this is like not thick enough. Let's go like this. Okay, so like this is the stuff you can control, right? And then like this is the stuff you have some control over in the second circle. And then like all this stuff you have no control over. Like this is all the stuff. So I try to like focus most of my energy in the middle two, the inner two circles. So like I can't control that all these nuts exist. I can't control that people still think Trump's like a normal person or all this stuff. What I can control is like, am I voting? Am I doing everything I can to inform others about the insanity? You know, and I try to keep out of my head the stuff I can't control to a certain degree. And so that is useful in general, like as a thing to think about, where I have direct influence. Exactly. And also I'm completely desensitized. Like let's listen to Marjorie Taylor Greene and watch me remain completely calm, despite the fact that she should probably be locked up in an insane asylum. I'm not saying, oh, put her in prison.
To probably the road out there.
We can't see it from the stage, but that is amazing. It looks like people are fired up for
And to
Carrie
think about
Lake.
it, this is on a Sunday afternoon. It's 90 degrees out here in the sun. These people aren't going anywhere until President Trump walks off the stage.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Actually, sometimes they start leaving while Trump is speaking when they realize how boring it is.
He's here. He's traveling the country supporting great candidates like Carrie Lake and Blake Masters and Mark Fincham and everybody else. And so, no, these people are here because they love President Trump. They love his policies.
Well, let's talk about
They love our country.
They do love a country. I said this earlier, and I want to get your thoughts on this. And you said this. President Trump is the leader of the conservative party, and it is.
Yeah, there's nothing conservative, not even remotely conservative about it. That's the wild thing. Kim says she left a better voicemail. Okay, we got a lot of voicemails dumping in, but we may get to it. Michael meant to type bad faith. While we're at it, anyone promoting election disinformation should also be auto banned. Zero nonsense, zero tolerance for that nonsense 3 years on. It's not a both sides game. Well said, Michael. Very much well said. Voicemail about Kanye.
Hey, David. So I was wondering with this Kanye West thing, him and Ice Cube always have this thing where they say, like, they're the real Jew. They, like, I hear this, slipped into things, and Kanye inferred this, and I know it's like some weird story, whatever, but can you explain that? What's the deal with that?
So listen, I don't know if this is what Kanye is referring to, but oftentimes when black folks say they are the real Jews, they're talking about this, I believe it's like the 12 lost tribes. It's a black Israelite thing. And when I would use the subway in New York City, I haven't been on the subway since the start of the pandemic, but when I used to, sometimes I would come out of the subway and there would be the black Israelites there handing out, literature, for lack of a better term. And yeah, that's my understanding of that's my guess, although I don't know exactly what Kanye meant by it, but usually when black folks talk about we're the real Jews, that's what they're talking about. the Lost Tribes, 12 Tribes, Black Israelites, etc. Trump bragging about January 6th crowd size last night is so twisted, it's hard to believe this is our reality. I haven't seen anything from last night's rally, but I will in time for the Tuesday show. David, sir, as a Messi fan, do you have strong negative feelings for Cristiano Ronaldo? No, I don't care about him. He doesn't bother me one bit. Not one bit. Yeah. Thanks to Joshua Sonnenberg for signing up at joinpacman.com. You were new member number 63. Okay, let me see if I can figure this out. Our goal is 100 new members today, and we're at 63. That's like, is that like halfway roughly? We're roughly halfway there, right? 63 out of 100 is like 50, between 50 and 2% and 2/3 or something. Am I close? Oh, 63%. How did you do that? 63%. Wow. You know what's funny? And it's actually said, when I do this, I will get 10 emails and people will go, David, you know, when you're dividing by 100, the number is the percentage. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. That's useful. It's very useful. Sir David, love what you do. Hi from Australia. Great to hear from our friends in Australia. Always, always, always. Couple other voicemails coming in.
Hey, David. Cassandra here in San Diego. I lived in Mesa, Arizona when I went there with the Air Force back in the late 70s. So anyway, when they showed Ellsworth Road a few minutes ago, and Ellsworth was where we had a small Air Force base, and it was orange groves and dairy farms. So this is way out from Mesa, but I thought you'd enjoy that. Take care. Love the show. Bye.
Oh, I like her. That's I don't know why that's even so. I guess it's funny to make all these Trumpists drive out to, like, you know, dirt in the middle of nowhere to watch the Trump speech. I like that. Let's see what else we've got here.
Hey, David. I was curious if Pillow knows what the third element of the Serenity Prayer is. Thanks, Dave.
All right. We can see about getting into that.
David, Josh from LA. Ask Pillow which plane Donald Trump will be flying in, or I guess a better way to ask it would be, ask him why Donald Trump doesn't have his Trump Force One plane anymore.
Oh, I don't think he has any idea about that. It looks like we are maybe getting close to Trump speaking. Evil Vacuum says, sir, where would you recommend an American look to emigrate if socialized medicine is important to them? Well, the question is, does it have to be a place it's actually easy to go? If it's just all theoretical, there are so many options. I mean, the Northern European countries are a great option. Germany has a good system. Spain has a good system. Switzerland. Not all of these are, strictly speaking, socialized. There's a combination of different systems in a lot of these countries. But there's no shortage of options. The problem is it's difficult to move to a lot of those places. Who is this guy?
Shello goes all the way up to the Four Corners, even comes down south of Phoenix into Pinal County.
Oh, wow. Okay, so if you're in any of those areas, go to, what is the website again?
EliForArizona.com.
Okay, check it out. And you're Trump endorsed.
Yes, ma'am.
That's fantastic. Congratulations.
Absolutely, yeah.
You also have an amazing background. Can you tell us a little bit about your story and where you've come from?
Yeah, I was an undertaker.
Still a small business owner. We were featured on Shark Tank. I'm a dad, I'm a father, I'm a Christian, and I love this country, and I'm tired of watching it be destroyed.
Elect this man.
For you, where do you see, what do you think needs to be some of the first things done in Congress to help the people of Arizona?
Right, so I think the border is probably number one, right up there with the economy. these folks are killing people out there with, their foolish ideas.
Yeah.
And I'm also really disappointed to see so much influence with radical Marxism, socialism, communism. And I never thought, Christina, I would live in this country. And it would.
It's funny because it's like socialism, Marxism, and communism are three different things. For there to be a bunch of each of the three, there would have to be like at least a dozen prominent socialist, Marxists, and communists in power, and there are like none. What's happening now? Okay, they're playing a propaganda video now. Here's the Huckabee thing again. All right, a couple of final thank yous. Folks, get in before Trump comes out. Cameron Underhill just signed up on my website. Also want to say thanks to Jason Sickmeyer for gifting another membership, puts us at 65. Over on Twitch, nothing. Over on Twitch, nothing, but that's okay. Still appreciate everybody there. A couple super voicemails coming in.
Dave, sir, gotta thank you for the stream. Every time you stream one of these Trump rallies, it just reinforces mine and my partner's decision to move out of the U.S. and to New Zealand. Shalom.
Yeah, well, glad it's helping you for some reason. Oh, look at this. Look at this.
Eats everything in his path. Because every once in a while.
Wow, this is truly a cult, huh? Let's just refresh to make sure we're live. And we want 1080p. Wow, this is really, really, really cult-like. Like extra cult-like today. Thanks to S. Prez for gifting 20 more subscriptions. Huge gift. Now 1,835 gifted subscriptions for S. Prez. Also, thank you to Raynera for the Twitch Prime subscription, number 86. Donald Trump is just moments away from delivering unhinged lies to a crowd that, quite frankly, doesn't seem able to tell the difference, nor are they interested in telling the difference. There is Trump, I think. This, by the way, we are in 1080p. The pixelation is coming through on the right side broadcasting stream. It is not something I am able to correct. Meanwhile, it does not seem that even Newsmax is covering this rally, which would really be a new low for Trump. But maybe they will switch to it. Let's listen. Oh, God. I really can't deal with that song at this point. It's god-awful. God-awful. Quite frankly. Thanks to Rude Boy for the Twitch Prime subscription. Folks, we might get to 100 right as Donald Trump utters his first lie. Trump going with the no-tie look today. My prediction, Trump complains about the weather and cuts the speech relatively short because of the heat. That's my prediction. Wow, if Newsmax is no longer even taking Trump's speeches, then you know something is going very, very wrong. That would be a significant change. They were sort of like the last holdout, in a sense, beyond right side broadcasting. But if they are not even covering it, it would really be, it's almost like sad for him, I guess. I don't know. Depends what you consider good or bad.
So I was just curious about where the Ashkenazi Jews are from, just because I noticed that you look kind of like Polish, like me.
I may look Polish, but I am not Polish. I am an Ashkenazi Jew. Whitney, I've got to get away from that because it's a bit weaponized. Thanks to Leonelda Blake for the sign up on my website. Leonelda, you were new member number 88 today, and I very much appreciate it. Let's listen. Oh God. They're still cranking the music. These rallies are really, really horrible. Thanks to Phaedrus for the Twitch Prime subscription, number 89. Oh boy. All right, guys, in the chat, how long until he complains about the heat? How long until he's visibly sweating?
Obama.
I wish those cameras, the fake news, look at all of them up there. I wish they'd turn around and show the crowd. They never like to do it. That goes back as far as the eye can see, and I even see people wait.
There's a couple thousand people there. That's it.
I just want to thank you and say hello, Mesa, and hello, Phoenix. We love Phoenix, and we love the great state of Arizona. It's been really good. We won it big, and we won it big a second time. The second time, they didn't exactly give us a good count, but that's being worked on.
Biden won.
Sam, thank you very much for being here, the great Uncle Sam. It's wonderful to be back in Arizona with thousands of proud, hardworking American patriots. You are amazing people. This is a fantastic state. 30 days from now, the people of Arizona are going to fire your radical and highly incompetent Senator Mark Kelly. He's grossly incompetent. And you're going to send desperately needed Blake Masters. Where's Blake? Where is Blake? Blake Masters.
Kelly is currently winning by 4 points, but it's not exactly a huge margin.
That's what you need. And you're going to make an incredible woman, incredible, Carrie Lake, your next governor. She's an incredible woman, incredible person. Look at the crowd that you drew, Carrie. They're here for you and Blake and all of the Republicans. You're going to elect a truly amazing America First Republican group we're going to do a slate straight up and down. We don't want crime. We want a strong military. We want low taxes. We want great education. And we're going to end the crazy Nancy Pelosi's political career once and for all.
Newsmax not even covering this.
Under Biden, Pelosi, Schumer, and the radical Democrat Congress, gasoline prices, congratulations, by the way, in Arizona, are up 86% in a very short period of time, and they're going higher. You know, they're trying to take our strategic reserves that we built up so beautifully, and they're right now depleted, the lowest they've been in many, many decades. Nobody remembers them, all to get your gasoline prices down before an election. The day after the election, you're going to be like a rocket ship. You know that. It's terrible. Inflation is costing the typical Arizona family almost $1,000 a month. Think of that. Over $11,000 a year. Household wealth has seen its largest drop ever recorded, ever in the history of our country. Your border has been completely obliterated. The cartels and human traffickers have seen their income skyrocket since I left your beautiful border. They've seen it skyrocket 2,500%. That's what they're making, 2,500% more than when we were in charge. You know, we had the safest border in the history of our country. Now we have the worst border, I think, anywhere in the world. I don't think any third world country would allow to happen what's happened here. Millions and millions of illegal aliens are coming unvetted and unchecked into your communities from over 140 different countries last month. 140. Most people don't know they have that many countries.
Most people do, actually.
Set an all-time homicide record, and nationwide the number of Hispanic murder victims is up over 50%. There's only one way to end this nightmare, this madness. If you want the decline and fall of America, then you must vote radical left Democrat. If you want to see this country continue, there's never been a time where our country was so embarrassed. It's just a disgrace what's happened. Do you want to see that go? Vote Democrat.
All polling has opinion of the United States stronger today than when Trump was president. There is no serious poll that shows the reputation of the U.S. is worse now than when Trump was in.
Dream, and we were talking about it a lot just 2 years ago, then you have to vote Republican up and down the line. And as bad as things are today, if the radical Democrats keep their grip on the House and Senate, your finances, your family, your community, and your country will never, ever be able to recover. You're not going to recover from this. Mark Kelly and the Democrat extremists will flood the country with tens of millions more illegal aliens.
Sorry.
They'll ram them through
Mark Kelly is very centrist.
things like mass amnesty. They want to give illegal aliens welfare, more welfare than American citizens get, more help than we give to our great veterans. They want to give free health care. I don't think anybody here has free health care. Anybody have free health care? And the right to vote far.
It's like they're almost proud that we don't have it. And weird.
More than we give to our military, more than we give to American citizens that have been outstanding and have worked so hard for our country. They'll abolish the filibuster, pack the Supreme Court, put left-wing federal bureaucrats in charge of corrupting every single election like they've been doing, gut the military, destroy our veterans, loot the treasury, mutilate our children with gender insanity, and turn America into a third world country. And that's what's happening.
He's jumping into the overtly transphobic part of the speech much earlier today.
On November 8th, Arizona can reject this miserable fate for our nation by delivering a clean sweep of every statewide office for the Republican Party, right? Most of them are here. And if they're not here, they're here. You can prove that Arizona is still a red state, and you're a proud red state. You know, I came here, we did 3 rallies, 42,000, 44,000, and 46,000. He came, he did 1 rally. He couldn't fill up 8 circles. He put the press, he put the fake news media. That is a lot of media. Blake, Carrie, look at all of them. But once we get critical of them, you'll see the cameras turn off and they'll start to head out.
They never turn them off.
Hopefully that'll be quickly. If we do not defeat the radical Democrats in this election, the maniacs and the lunatics will be totally out of control. Not that they're not already. Hello, everybody. Look at that group of people. Oh, I see. I haven't seen this. You people all have chairs. Who are these big shots over here? They all have chairs. Look at them. See, I think they should move the media back about 200 yards and let everybody... Right. That's what I would do. I have to scold my people. If you don't mind, would you please, from now on, move the media back? They have good telescopic cameras. It won't matter.
Give me a break.
Because they block the view, all these people. But the good news is you'll never see it because they never want to show the crowds. They never want to show
Ever.
But you know what? You hear
By the way, they showed the crowd for hours. It's not very big.
Stations right now, including, we want to thank Newsmax. They've been great. They've all been right side.
Newsmax isn't covering it. Oh, that's freaking brilliant. Trump is thanking Newsmax. Newsmax seems to be showing stand-up comedy of Mike Huckabee. And Trump thanked them. That's just the best, guys. Wow.
By millions and millions of people. Before our very eyes, Biden and his left-wing handlers are turning America into a police state. After ignoring violent attacks on pro-life clinics, the Biden...
Thanks to Newsmax, they're showing Huckabee.
Life activists. You see it happening, and you see it happening nightly. Although, for the most part, they don't want to report it. First, they arrested the Catholic father of 7 that you read about 2 weeks ago, and then this week, they arrested pro-life grandparents with guns drawn, many people going into this small but well-kept and beautiful little house. Many people, FBI, going in to take a grandmother out of that house, putting them in jail and protesting outside of abortion clinics and charging them with crimes punishable by up to 11 years in prison. 11 years. Blake, you're going to have to do something about this, Blake. We got to do something about this. Kelly isn't doing a thing about it. Kelly doesn't even know what's happening. And they're doing this to peaceful patriots at numbers that have never been seen before. And they have the right of free speech. And this is free and really, you'd almost say it's free and silent speech. They're not doing anything wrong.
I wonder if Grandma did anything to get herself arrested. I'm just kind of curious.
Drug lords. In fact, I must say drug lords are treated much better. Nothing happens to them. Nothing happens to Antifa. Nothing happens to BLM. But look at what happens to patriots. The Democrats are locking up their political opponents, spying on their political rivals. silencing dissent and using the full force of government, law enforcement, and the media to try and crush the greatest movement in the history of America. It's the greatest movement. MEGA. It's called Make America Great Again. When Biden got up with a bad, sinister background and he talked about how bad MAGA was, I said, does anybody want to ask him if he understands what that means, MEGA? It means Make America Great Again. Ooh. Every freedom-loving American needs to understand the time to stand up. Right now, we have to stand up. It's going to be too late. We've got to stop this growing tyranny. Starting with the earth-shattering victory that you're going to have on November 8th. You have to go out and ideally vote on November 8th. You know, the mail-in ballots, or sometimes I will say things like the fake mail-in ballots, but I don't want to say that because that's so controversial. But the mail-in ballots are just not as good as being out there on November 8th. You know that, Carrie. Get out and vote on November 8th. It's harder for them to cheat. They cheat. They say it's a 50-50 parties, right? So they're against God, they're against guns, they're against voter ID. Why are they against voter ID? They're against confirmation that you happen to be a citizen of the United States. In other words, you can't confirm when you vote. They think that's horrible. It's crazy what they're getting away with. The only way evil will triumph for good men and women is when they do nothing. You know that. And these are good people. They do nothing. I think they feel they're lost. We can't be lost. We can't be lost. We don't have time. So no matter what these left-wing radicals try next, no matter what they do to us, we have to keep on going. We have to keep on fighting because we are on a mission to restore our nation back to greatness. And you don't hear about greatness anymore. All you hear about is investigations. Every investigation. I've been investigated
because he hasn't done anything great and he's potentially committed a lot of crimes.
Honest person in history. He said, if they looked at me for more than 2 days, that's the end of my business. They've been after me for close to 7 years. For 6 straight years, these witch hunts have been in full force. Witch hunts, hoaxes, and abuses have been coming at us at a fast and furious pace. You don't even have time to recover. You beat them, and then you take a breath, and then they hit you again. These are dishonest people. These are people that don't love our country. They're people that don't love our country. First, we learned they spied on my campaign. How do you think it would be? Let's go back to Barack Hussein Obama. How do you think it would be if we, as Republicans, spied on his campaign? Do you think? And they don't want to do it. Well, yeah, they spied. No, they spied on the campaign, and we caught them. So let's see what's all going to happen. But they spied on my campaign. Then they lied to Congress. Many, many times lied to Congress. And then they lied to the FISA court and created a fake dossier. Remember the dossier? How would you like to be me? And go home to my great First Lady and say, First Lady, I want to tell you what they said in the dossier.
And she said, sir.
And that would not work out too well for most of you men in the audience, right? And then it turned out to be a total fake. And one thing I will say about her, she said, I don't believe it. I said, oh, I'm glad about that. I'm very happy. No, but how about the things, the things they said? Uncle Sam, you saw that, right? They said things, all fake, made up by bad people. And it was done and paid for by crooked Hillary Clinton, the Democrat National Committee, and the Democrat Party in conjunction with Russia. They said Russia about me, and they were working with Russia. This could only happen to Trump. And yet, after all that, these same people came after me, so they spy on my campaign, and then they come after Trump. Remember, it was Russia, Ukraine. And then it was the Mueller witch hunt where the conclusion...
Yeah, he's already sweaty, so we may benefit from the heat in Arizona insofar as Trump may keep this very short because he's already got... It's almost like drips and droplets on his forehead.
And he couldn't. And then it was, after that, impeachment hoax number... Remember this? Impeachment hoax. Perfect phone call.
Did you guys... That was just a glitch. I don't know if you saw that.
Everybody was happy with it. Impeachment hoax number one, impeachment hoax number two, the censorship of the Biden family corruption story. Remember the laptop from hell? As Russian disinformation by the FBI in cooperation with Facebook and the media, which they all knew wasn't true. They knew it wasn't true, but they wanted to censor it. They wanted to keep it quiet until after the election.
Something about these two, they don't seem to be having a great time so far.
In the polls, we didn't need 17 points. We didn't need 1 point. All we needed was an honest election. We didn't need anything. And now it's the unselect committee of political hacks and thugs. And that's a scam. And it's also really appalling misconduct by the racist and incompetent New York State Attorney General. She's a racist and she's incompetent. Her name is Letitia Peekaboo James, who's presiding over record numbers of murders, rapes, drug deals, and every other form of crime in our once great New York State. Not great anymore. People are fleeing New York because of crime, but only spends her time in getting elected. Let's go after Trump. Oh, you saw the clip. Let's go after Trump. Maybe I can get elected. She knew nothing about me. Never heard of her. She ran for governor and failed badly. She got almost nothing. Now she's running again for attorney general with a record of massive crime, the likes of which New York State has never seen before. She's down in the polls, losing to a strong crime fighter. That's what we need, is a strong Republican crime fighter. Who would ever want to vote for somebody like her, so corrupt and so bad on violent crime? We need people that are going to fight crime. We need a safe country again. Peekaboo wants to defund the police, hates the people of law enforcement, and will never do it.
So I've still not gotten a clear answer on why he refers to Letitia James as peekaboo. Someone told me that it's a way of using the racist term jigaboo without saying it, where he says peekaboo, which is similar. I'm not sure. I genuinely don't know what that's about.
That was made about election integrity. You know, if you call today about election integrity, call up the Secretary of State about election integrity, they say, oh, that's such a terrible thing. No, it's called free speech. And despite the fact that Atlanta, on a per capita basis, has more murders and crimes than any other city in the country, including Chicago. Nobody knows that. And yet they're looking at a phone call that I made, which was absolutely perfect. About election integrity. That's what they're spending their money and their time on. And nobody is being taken care of. And Atlanta is a crime city like just about no other city in the world. It has gone strictly third world, Atlanta has. All of these local Democrat-run cases are being directed by Washington. I have no doubt about it.
No evidence.
We have a weaponized Department
He
of
has no doubt and no evidence. Important to note.
Of course, the break-in of my home.
Remember, they didn't break in. They had a search warrant signed off on by the FBI director, attorney general, and the judge.
Just like impeachment hoax number one, impeachment hoax number two, we have to, the document hoax case, or we could call it the warehouse case, because many other presidents stored their millions of pages of stuff in unsecured warehouses, some of them without front doors that worked properly. Just look.
They had only a back door. Then it's like, well, is that the front door then? I don't know.
Beautifully. All they need to do is leave office and they get treated beautifully. They've been given the time needed and complete deference when it came to their documents and to their papers. There was no criminality. There was no, oh, we're going to get him. We're going to get him. And the people are the same people that have been working on this for 6 years. Barack Hussein Obama moved more than 20 truckloads, over 33 million pages of documents, both classified and unclassified, to a poorly built and totally unsafe former furniture store located in a rather bad neighborhood in Chicago. You know about that, right?
Uh-huh.
They just found that out. What do you think of that, Carrie? It's a little double standard, perhaps. George W. Bush, or Rhino, but that's okay, stored 68 million pages in a warehouse in Texas. Think of that. And, oh, excuse me, he lost 22 million White House emails covering the Iraq invasion, which was one of the dumbest things that this country has ever done. One of the dumbest things. What did we get out of it other than death and a loss of massive numbers of great, great young people? What did we get out of it? And we really obliterated a big part of the world. We got nothing out of it. They're still looking for those 22 million pages. Bill Clinton took millions of documents from the White House to a former car dealership in Arkansas. Kept classified recordings in his sock. Did you know about that? They say he left the White House with recordings in his sock, and they found them in his sock drawer.
His sock drawer.
And they didn't find him. He found them, I guess.
What the hell is going on? In his sock drawer?
Which is the narrate's called. Lost an entire hard drive full of information from the Clinton White House. I wonder what that information was. Bill Clinton also lost the nuclear codes. And nobody complained. Trump didn't lose the nuclear codes. I could tell you more about nuclear codes. I rebuilt our nuclear arsenal, not that I wanted to, but because we had no choice.
He had to do it.
When you see what's going on right now.
Had to do it.
And we'll end up in a war with the incompetence and the way we're handling this. We'll end up in a world war. Jimmy Carter sent the nuclear codes to his dry cleaner. You know that, right? And almost as bad. Nothing happened, though. Nobody said, oh, we're going to get him. We're going to prosecute Jimmy Carter. He sent the nuclear codes to his dry cleaner.
Oh, God.
And they never got him back. They're still looking for him, but they're looking. You know, how many years ago was that? And almost as bad, Hillary deleted 33,000 emails under congressional subpoena. Acid washed them, and then pounded her telephones with hammers, making them unrecognizable to the human eye.
By the way, you know, the Jimmy Carter story, like, you know, presidents don't do their own laundry. It is a true story that there were once codes left in a suit that Jimmy Carter's staff had cleaned or whatever. But it's like, you can't do anything with the codes, first of all, unless you have access to the weapons. But it also is like he's making it seem like Jimmy Carter sent us, you know, brought a suit to his local dry. It's such a crazy story.
Other than that, it was quite secure, and there was no security. And they didn't have these great Secret Service people who are great, by the way. They're great. They don't get enough credit. They don't get enough credit. They don't get enough credit. By contrast, I had a small number of boxes in storage at Mar-a-Lago guarded by Secret Service and my people and everybody. I mean, it's safe. When you look at these other people, what they did, and the FBI raided my home and violated my Fourth Amendment rights and many other rights. And under the Sox decision, this is a very important decision that was made. They call it the Sox decision because, again, it had to do with Bill Clinton and his socks. There is no crime. You know, there is no crime. It's not a crime. And they should give me immediately back everything that they've taken from me because it's mine. It's mine.
It was also planted by the FBI, but he needs it back.
Look into my house. But you know, the good news is everyone saw it. Would you believe my poll numbers went up?
There are no polls.
Best poll numbers I've ever had. I don't know. I think I'm the only one where the FBI breaks into your house, probably illegally, in my opinion, illegally, and your poll numbers go up. That doesn't happen to too many people, Blake.
There you go.
Likewise, under the Presidential Record Act, everything should come back. All should come back. And under the Presidential Record Act, there is no crime.
Remember, for weeks he claimed he never had the stuff. Now he says it should be given back to him immediately.
At a time. That's what we were doing. The National Archives put a trigger warning on the Constitution of the United States. Did you know that? And the Bill of Rights and other great documents that we have in our country, founding documents, considering them to be dangerous. They consider the Constitution to be dangerous. These are radical left lunatics, and they lose documents. They plant documents. Let's see, is there a book on nuclear destruction or the building of a nuclear weapon cheaply? Let's put that book in with Trump. No, they plant documents. I mean, they have a terrible reputation. Look at the kind of things. This is just a small part, what I've read. And who would want to be with them? We're safer in that Chinese restaurant that we just mentioned, to be honest. When will they investigate and prosecute Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, George Bush, and look into what took place with George Bush's father and the warehouse of documents had by Barack Hussein Obama? And I don't think they'll do it. And you know what? I don't think they should do it. I don't think they should do it. But the radical left thinks by doing all of these sinister and venomous things, they're making us weaker, but actually they're making us stronger and much more unified than we've ever been before. We now have a two-tiered system of justice, and it's got to stop because the people of our country are angry. The people of our country are very unhappy with what's going on. In fact, the people of our country are very sad. They don't like to see this. What they want to do is make America great again and to put America first. That's what they want to do. It's very simple.
Right?
And they want this radical left charade that goes on endlessly for years to stop. Many powerful, influential people tell me you must.
There is a two-tiered justice system. It's just not the one he thinks. Oh, we lost
conduct. And frankly, for violating your own civil rights and liberties. And it's, a lot of truth to that. Who the hell lives like this? They've been doing this to me for years. Ever since I came down the golden escalator in Trump Tower, no other president has ever been treated like this. And I'm not complaining because you know what? I'm doing a great job for the people of...
He's not complaining, guys. I mean, other than this rally and every other rally.
Got to bring our country back. But now they're leaking that they may actually be charging Hunter Biden. Remember her? Remember where's Hunter? Where's Hunter?
Charge him. I don't care.
$500,000 a painting. Great artists come into the White House because they're supposed to be painting my picture for the White House.
It's funny. If Trump gets indicted, these people are going to riot. If they charge Hunter, I'd be like, oh, I mean, there must be evidence he committed a crime. I don't know. I mean, fine, charge him. I don't care.
I think the government pays. I'll pay. But how much? And it's very little money, actually. And then you hear Hunter Biden gets $500,000 to take a can of paint and throw it against a piece of canvas, but not do it himself. His other people do it, I imagine. But they may actually be charging Hunter Biden with very minor charges relative to crimes committed, and that's really up to them. But are they actually doing this charade to continue targeting me and our movement? It sounds to me like they're doing it so they can say, well, we're treating everyone fairly. No, they're not. They're not treating us fairly. And they have to be very careful because it can come around, It can come around and snip them. They have to be very, very careful what they're doing. They're playing a game that's never been played to this extent in our country. They're coming after me because I fight for you. And I fight for America, and because we are leading big in every single poll and winning all across our country, both against Republicans and against Democrats. We're leading against everybody. Thank you. Thank you.
What's he talking about? Anybody know?
We're leading by numbers that nobody's ever seen before.
Because they don't
That
exist.
includes Republicans. We got some Republicans that say, we want to run. You let them run. Who the hell cares? We're leading by so much. And it's incredible. With all of this, what they're trying to do is take us out so that we can't represent you if we decide to do that. But we'll be making a decision very soon. I think everyone's going to be happy. I really do.
Right.
The radical left is no longer about socialism. It's about communism. We've skipped over socialism, I think, and that's where our country is headed. And I predicted this would happen a long time ago when I felt it. I felt it in my blood. I just felt it in my bones and blood. That
he felt it
we
where?
Are in for a period of time because we have people that truly either they hate our country, they are competent. Look, they are competent.
He felt it in his blones. That's something.
Shifty Schiff, Shifty Adam Schiff. Shifty Adam Schiff. I mean, I tell this story every once in a while. I have a son who's a very good young man. He's been through hell.
He's 40-something.
With all these investigations. He thought he was going to just help the country. Don Jr. Does anyone know Don Jr.? So it's now come out that the dossier was a total put-up fake job done by the Democrats and Hillary, right, DNC, in conjunction with Russia. So it's now fake. In fact, the Times admitted it. The Washington Post admitted it. Even stupid CNN, nobody watches them anymore because they have no ratings. But a lot of great...
44-year-old Don Jr. is a fine kid.
But everybody now says it was a fake. And Adam Schiff was in on it. But I see Adam Schiff a few years ago come out to the microphone just like this. Now think of this. He helped devise a fake scheme. So he has a fake scheme, and he comes out to the microphone, and he knows it's a lie, and he said, I have just witnessed horrible, horrible events in a horrible document, and I believe Donald Trump Jr. will be serving time in prison in the very near future. Now think of this. How bad are you when you tell somebody, anybody, I don't care, president or not president, somebody's son is going to go to jail, and you know it's a hoax. You know it's fake. Uncle Sam, do you agree with that? Now think of it. You know it's a hoax, and he's saying that my son is going to jail on something. These are bad people. These are sick degenerates. If the Democrats win, the communists win, and soon they will send their thugs, their criminals, their angry left-wing prosecutors, and their 87,000 new IRS agents who are allowed to carry guns. You know that, right?
Almost all of them are just replacing retiring agents. It's like a non-story.
Our Second Amendment. No guns, nobody can have guns. And yet 87,000 IRS agents are allowed to have guns. Explain that one. If Republicans win, the communists lose, the globalists lose, the deep state bureaucrats lose, the Silicon Valley censors lose, the corrupt fake news media bosses lose, and the rhinos lose.
Back in 5.
But America wins and wins big, and that's the only thing that will matter. The only thing that will matter. This election is your chance to send a strong message to all of the arrogant left-wing radicals who want to dictate what you can say and what you can think and how you are supposed to lead your lives with your families. With your vote, you can humiliate Joe Biden, not that he hasn't been humiliated enough, the media, and the corrupt Democrat machine, and you can declare that America will always remain a free and fair country. You can take the 5 worst presidents in American history and put them together, and they would not have done the damage Joe Biden has done to our nation in less than 2 short years. Think of it. Look at what's happened. We're like a totally different country than we were 2 years ago. 2 years ago, we were respected by the world. Today, we're a joke. When Biden hears me speak, he knows he can't fight back in any other way than to try and get me through the prosecutors or some weird act. Except I'm innocent. It's always good to be innocent, right? Because if I wasn't, I would have been out of here years ago. It's been going on for years. In fact, my son, I said the other night, I have a wonderful son, Eric. I think he's received more subpoenas from the United States Congress than any human being in the history of the world. He's a great guy. He wants to just do his job. And every day, every week, every month, he gets hit with a subpoena from Schiff and from Nancy Pelosi, who's crooked as hell. Look at her stocks. I mean, she did better than Warren Buffett. I don't know about her husband. I don't know who the hell's running that deal. But how? And now she doesn't want to change it where they're allowed to get inside information. Joe Biden can't speak clearly. He can't think clearly. So he tells law enforcement, you got to do something about this guy, Trump. He's killing me. Take a look at this. You'll see. Just take a look. You're not even going to believe it.
How would you say your mental focus is?
Oh, it's focused. I haven't. Look.
Let's get ready to bumble!
I think it's a right for people to have bad health care. True international under pressure. God, oh my Lord, I can't believe I said that. America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was going to put him. Corn Pop was a bad dude, and he ran a bunch of bad boys. Wait. All men and women created by go. You know the thing. If it holds near and dear to you that you like to be able to
Anyway. We went for two reasons. One, to come on, man. The guy who runs that outfit over there. I've had a couple washing machines, but the nature, not Representative Jackie, are you here? Where's Jackie? I didn't think she was going to be here. What am I doing here? But Tucker, yeah.
I got hairy legs that turn, that.
Thank you for your tolerance and listening to me. I appreciate it very much. What?
So, during the course of 4 great years, despite all of these witch hunts, we did so much. But one of the things that I got to learn a lot about were the leadership of other countries, President Xi, all of the different leaders, Putin, all of them. And you go one by one, step by step. Macron of France, can name every single one of them. I got mostly friendly with them. Some of them didn't like me because I stopped them from taking advantage of our country, which almost all of them were doing. So they wouldn't like me. I know in Germany they said, we like Obama better. They should. They robbed us blind. They should. But one thing we learned is they're all at the top of their game mentally. They're at the top of their game. President Xi of China, there's nobody in Hollywood that could imitate him, that could play the role of President Xi. There's no actor. These are smart, tough, brilliant people in most cases, but they're all at the top of their game, and the fake news media doesn't like when I use the word brilliant. How can you say that about President Xi? Well, he's the head of 1.5 billion people, Carrie. I'd say he's a pretty smart guy, wouldn't you say? And by the way, he has no drug problem. You know that, right? You know why? Quick trial, because they give the death penalty to people that are selling drugs. But I got to meet, and they're dealing with this gentleman, and they don't know what the hell is going on. Under my leadership, we had, for the first time, American energy independence and even energy dominance. We were going to be bigger than, think of it, Russia and Saudi Arabia combined in a very short period of time. We would be right now supplying oil to Europe. You wouldn't have a war. Number one, the war was never going to happen anyway with me there, but just the oil, we would have been down at $40, $35, maybe $30 a barrel. You were at $1.80. In fact, I had it down for a little while to $1.50. We had to get it a little up. We had to let the oil companies survive. But you were down to $1.87 a gallon, and now you're way over $5. Think of it, way, way over. And that's with the artificial stimulus of the strategic reserve, which is going away one day after the election's over. So I just say that
we're at $3.90 right now.
And
not
we
$5.
Have a person and people that aren't. Now, he's surrounded by vicious, smart people. Don't underestimate. I don't even believe that he's the one necessarily that's causing these problems. He is surrounded by vicious, very smart people with a different ideology than the people in this office, than the people in your great state. And we're going to have to be very smart and very strong, because that's not what's doing it. People are pulling strings, and it's very sad to watch. Nobody thought this could happen in our country, and it all happened because of a rigged and stolen election. Now Biden is begging and pleading with OPEC, but instead of increasing production, they're cutting it. Did you see the other day? They cut. That's going to drive gasoline prices up much higher, and your electric and everything else. We gave you the largest tax cuts and regulation cuts in American history. On the other hand, the radical Democrat Congress has passed one of the largest tax hikes in American history, but they were still unable to pass any legislation which affected our tax cuts because they couldn't do it. They couldn't get it through. They would have. But it still remains the Trump tax cuts. They have not been able to do anything about it. Under the Trump administration, we had the greatest economy in the history of the world with no inflation. Biden and the Democrat Congress created the worst inflation in over 50 years. We're right now at 9.1%, and it's going to go a lot higher. And the worst 2 years of a presidency in history. I rebuilt our military, including our nuclear capability and the creation of Space Force, first time that's been done in 78 years. God. You heard of a thing called Air Force, not since Air Force. And Space Force turned out to be very, very important indeed. We're now leading in space because of what we did with Space Force.
We're winning again.
And China and Russia owned space until I came along, and now we're leading in space, and that's going to end up being one of the most important of all. They surrendered our strength and our dignity and turned Afghanistan into the single greatest humiliation our country has ever had. I believe that the way we got out, not of getting out, I was getting out too. I would have done it on a similar schedule, but with strength and with what you have to get, the way you leave properly.
Yeah, are you guys aware that we had 0 alien invasions from outer space under Trump? Think about that. No, the fake news media certainly won't tell you that.
To the war in Ukraine, or we will end up in World War III, and there will never be a war like this. We will never have had a war like this, and that's all because of stupid people that don't have a clue. And it's also because of the kind of weaponry that's available today. We never had weapons like this, the destructive capability of weapons, modern weapons. I know more about it than anybody because of the fact that I rebuilt our military. You could just look at Russia and say, see, when you talk about going to war, it's not as easy as people think. It's just not as easy. Who would have thought that would have happened?
Going to war is tough.
But remember, he's still got a second layer, and it's a very powerful layer. And we have to be very smart and very nimble. We have to know what to say, what to do. And
looks like folks are starting to head out. Here's one lady sort of trying to shuffle her way out. This is a theme at Trump rallies. This is roughly the point at which people do start to leave. And there's often videos of people just flowing out. And that woman seemingly bothering some of the other folks. You'll start to see folks trickle out now.
It's a real possibility, and 2 years ago, it wasn't even thought of. I withdrew from the disastrous Iran nuclear deal and imposed the toughest...
Yeah, Newsmax still not covering this. Apparently, it's like an evening... Look at this.
Seppi Paterno, who just became Italy's oldest college graduate, and for the second time. 2 years ago...
Really cool show. Anyway, that's what they're showing instead of the Trump rally.
And China didn't buy oil. I told President Xi, don't buy oil. You buy oil. We're not going to do any business with China, and he didn't buy any oil. As we speak, the people of Iran are bravely protesting against their corrupt and brutal regime, courageously facing down violence, persecution, jail, torture, and even death. And we are with you all. I want you to know that on behalf of everybody here and everybody, period, we are with them. 2 years ago, we had the strongest border in the history of our country. And now we have exactly the opposite. In August, illegal border crossings in Arizona were up 471%.
Remember the impossibility of those figures. If you're catching people, you could argue successful crossings are down, right? Like you could turn around and go, we have the most tight border because look at all the people we're catching. When you don't catch them, it's because people are getting through. All these things, even when the numbers are true, they don't necessarily prove the thing Trump thinks they prove.
By the tens of thousands. We got rid of ISIS. And by the way, we defeated ISIS in the Middle East.
Right.
Nobody wants to talk about that. We defeated ISIS. We defeated al-Baghdadi, didn't we? Remember Conan, the dog? He got more credit than I did for defeating ISIS. Conan.
What about Abdul?
And he deserves it. He was a brave dog. We built hundreds of miles of border wall despite 2.5 years of Democrat-inspired lawsuits to stop it. but I won all of them, over 11 lawsuits. We completely finished our original wall plan. Then we added much more wall and almost got that finished. It would have been done in 3 weeks. That's all it would have taken. And they didn't want to do the job. They didn't want. That's when I said, there's something wrong here. Something is wrong. In short, the election took place. It was a disaster for our country, and we are suffering the results of that election. I ran twice. I won twice. And I did much better the second time than I did the first, getting millions more votes in 220 than we got in 2016.
220.
We got many more. We got many more votes in the last election, many. And we got more votes than any sitting president in the history of our country by far. You know,
but not more than any candidate, that's for sure.
Sitting president in history. And now we may just have to do it again. So stay tuned, because we're not going to let our country die. We're not letting our country die. But we did much better in 2020. You know, the New York Times came and they were talking to me. What was the difference between 2016 and 2020? I said, well, the difference was that we did much better in 2020. Oh, you did? Really? They didn't understand that. No, we got millions more votes, like 12 million or something.
In 220 BC, they did it.
Irving Wall. I love that jacket. I'm going to wear that jacket someday.
Oh, no.
The only difference is we didn't use brick. We used steel because it's stronger. And you can see through. We needed see-through. We listened to the Border Patrol. But first, we have to win a historic victory.
That's the wall that can be defeated with $100 worth of stuff from Home Depot.
For Republican Congress is to stop the invasion, and that's what it is. It's like a military invasion. In many ways, it's worse, because with military, you can stop them with force. These people are coming through totally unencumbered, but we have to stop the invasion on our southern border. In August, an illegal alien criminal was sentenced for walking into a convenience store right here in Mesa, taking out his gun, killing 21-year-old clerk, a wonderful young man, because he wanted a pack of cigarettes. In New Mexico, an illegal alien criminal out of jail on unsecured bond was charged with decapitating a man, mutilating his body, and kicking his head around a field as though it were a soccer ball. It was a soccer ball in a public park.
Guys, you know who was president when that happened? Trump. These lurid stories where he says someone was just sentenced. Sometimes it's for a crime that took place while Trump was president.
By the president of the National Border Patrol Council, a great gentleman, a tough man. He was with me from the beginning. I'm not even sure he was allowed to be, but he was, because he knows what we need in this country is border safety and border security. His name is Brandon Judd. Brandon, where is Brandon? Where is Brandon? I love this guy. Come here, Brandon, just fast. Come on, Brandon. We're not here for Brandon, but get up here. Come on. And we have another great guy. He's always been so helpful, along with all of Brandon's people. Tom Homan. Have you ever seen his central casting? Where's Tom? I love Tom Homan. What a job. You put these guys in charge, you'll have it solved very quickly. Say a few words. Hello. People were starting to come.
Whoa, edgy.
What can we say about Donald Trump that hasn't already been said?
Oh, God.
Best president in our history. 45-year lows. Illegal immigration was dropped to 45-year lows. We were able to go after the criminal cartels. We were able to drop the drugs that were coming into the United States under this president more than we ever had. Republican, Democrat, it didn't matter. This president did more.
It kind of did matter.
Save your children, your grandchildren than anybody else. And yet he's constantly.
And yet he lost to a guy who campaigned from his basement by 8 million votes. How humiliating.
Yeah, exactly. Look, we got some great people. Please stand up. All my guys back there. Art Del Cueto right there. And let me tell you, the president is here campaigning. The president is
Biden's there?
For some great people. Carrie Lake, gotta win. Have to win. She's got to. Yeah, exactly. Blake Masters, he has to win. Abe has to win. And Mark has to win. But more importantly, we need this guy to run. 2024 will be the greatest year in politics ever. President, thank you very much.
And we will ban men.
Wow.
Wow.
Super strong.
Am I glad I asked him to come up? That was very good. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you to all the folks that are with you. Thank you very much. Great job you do. They do such a great job, and that includes ICE. ICE is so incredible. They're tough. They're great, great people. ICE also, and law enforcement, period. If we're going to make America great again, we have to make America safe again. It's very simple. Brendan understands that. Tom Homan understands that. Under the radical left Democrats, our country has become a cesspool of crime. Much of the crime wave is caused by drug dealers who, during the course of their lives, will kill an average of 500 American citizens. One person will kill, on average, during his or her lifetime, 500 people. So I'm calling for the death penalty for drug dealers and human traffickers.
There you go.
Which will, upon its passage, reduce drug distribution and crime by more than 75%. If it's meaningful, if it's a meaningful bill, 75% down in one day, it'll end. I tell the story about my meeting with President Xi, and I said to him, "Do you have a drug problem?" And he looked at me like, "What the hell is he talking about?" Of course.
Wait, didn't he tell this story already?
No drug problem.
I mean today. I know he's told it at other rallies.
What do you think? You don't have it. And he talked about, as I said, he talked about the fact that they have quick trials. They have quick trials, and he said drug dealers, if they want to sell drugs, it's okay, but they're not selling them in China, and they're not selling them in Singapore, and they're not selling them in certain other countries where they have no drug problem whatsoever. So we have to consider that. I don't know. I haven't asked Brandon and Holman.
He did tell the story. So twice he's told this exact same story. Wow. Bizarre. Let me refresh this thing. Something weird's going on.
Committee to stop drug distribution in the United States, and they just want to get a little publicity for themselves. They don't do anything. We need the death penalty if you want to have a meaningful, right? So we'll do that. I think you'll do that. Well, Sheriff Joe, I hear, is here today. Someplace. Isn't Sheriff Joe? Where is Sheriff Joe? Look at Sheriff Joe. Oh, look at, whoa.
Racist sheriff. Horrible, horrible person.
This guy, you know, Sheriff Joe, he knew borders better than anybody in the history of our country. He looks at what's happened to your state, to Arizona, with guys like Kelly that don't have a clue. They're weak and incompetent. And Joe, who's tough as hell. Sometimes too tough, but we'll forgive you for that, Joe. I mean, the pink underwear was a little bit rough. The pink text. That's okay. We've heard of worse than that. We've heard of worse than that. But we had no border problem, Joe, did we, huh? No, we had no border problem. Today, those same people just pouring in at levels nobody's ever seen. But I want to thank you, Joe, because you suffered greatly. That was very unfair what they did to you. You know, I had the privilege of giving Joe a pardon, a complete and total pardon. That means, if you know what the power is, and if you know what that means that Sheriff Joe Arpaio is the cleanest one here with all these politicians. He's cleaner than any of them. He's even cleaner than Kerry. I hate to say Kerry. He's that cleanest guy you can have. So, Joe, thank you very much. Great job. Great job. Really, we appreciate it. You look fantastic. I got to know him. I got to know his incredible late wife who kept him in check. She kept you in check, right, Joe? But she was great. The first step to restoring public safety is defeating the radical Democrats this November, and that starts with throwing out your extremist senator, but a weak man, Mark Kelly. Mark Kelly claims he's tried his best to secure the border, but in fact, for the past 2 years, Mark Kelly has been deciding, and he's been that deciding 50th vote to rubber stamp every Biden, Pelosi, Schumer bill, and they ram him right through Congress. He never fights anything, and he doesn't fight to get safety for your border. It's not like he's fighting on the positive. He could do that, I guess. Kelly could have stopped the border nightmare with a snap of his fingers, but he didn't want to get involved. Kelly voted against money for border agents. Did you hear that, Brandon? I don't think he's got your vote, right? He voted against money for you people. That's not good. And yet he voted for 87,000 of those IRS agents carrying guns. He voted no on the border wall. He voted against my remain in Mexico. How good was that? I said to the president of Mexico, no. You have to do two things. We need 28,000 Mexican soldiers while I'm building the wall. No, we're not doing that.
Remember, 55,000 of the 87,000 IRS agents are just to replace retiring IRS agents, and only about 2,100 IRS agents in the entire agency, specifically in the criminal division, carry firearms. It's lies all the way down.
He's a great guy. But he said, no, we're not giving you 28,000 soldiers. I said, yes, you are. And you have to give us 28,000 soldiers. We need them because people are pouring through your country and coming into our country. You can't do that. And remain in Mexico. We want them to stay in your country so that we can check them out. And on occasion, somebody will be approved. Otherwise, they have to go back to the country from which they came, especially with criminal records. And we sent hundreds of thousands back. And it was going good, really good. But he said, I won't do it. I said, well, if you're not doing it, I'm going to sign right on my desk right now. I have a signed tariff agreement that charges Mexico 25% for every car and every product it makes coming into the United States, which would have amounted to billions and billions of dollars a year, Blake. And he said, on the other hand, I would love to supply you with 28,000 soldiers. And I feel extremely good about letting these criminals remain in Mexico. We would love to have all of these MS-13 gang members remain in Mexico. You just ask Tijuana. Ask the mayor of Tijuana, was he happy?
Isn't MS-13 an American gang? Why would they be in Mexico?
Deadly sanctions, that's Kelly. Deadly. And sanctuary cities are all over the place. He's always voting for sanctuary. That's basically where you're supporting, I would say, Brandon, that's basically where you're supporting and sheltering criminals for the most part. There's nothing good about sanctuary cities. Kelly voted for every inflation-causing socialist spending bill. He voted to raise your taxes by $326 billion. He voted against.
There's a lot of space on the rafters behind Trump all of a sudden, and some folks seem to be sort of packing up their signs. Who looks the most bored here?
He was told to do it. He voted to drain the Strategic National Petroleum Reserve. He co-sponsored a nationwide ban on voter ID. Why doesn't he want voter ID? We'd like to see, when you had the Democrat National Convention in Milwaukee, in order to get in, you had a card bigger than a large man's chest. Picture, fingerprints, your social security, everything. It was the biggest identification. It was voter ID. You couldn't get in to the Democrat National Convention unless you wore this monster. It was almost like a vest. It kept you warm. It was so big. And
are more people heading out?
ID. Now, they don't want voter ID, Kerry, for one very simple reason, because they want to cheat. That's the only reason. There's no other reason. He voted to push critical race theory on pre-K and elementary students, and he voted for extreme late-term abortion in the 40th week or beyond. Think of this. Like the wacko governor of Virginia recently, the last Democrat governor, where he said that you can have abortion at any time, even beyond the 9th month. Think of that. So you can have abortion during and beyond the 9th month.
That's a lie.
And he said what you'll do is you'll sit down with your doctor and decide, and in some cases the baby will be born, and then you essentially will execute the baby. This is what they're planning.
It's untrue.
I happen to believe that we have the states do that. I tell you, if you look at Ginsburg, if you look at many others, But I also believe strongly in the three exceptions, like Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan believed in the exceptions, and I believe in the three exceptions. And I think
It's total chaos on the stage behind Trump. Does anybody have any idea what's happening?
Essentially beyond the 9th month. And you can't do that. Rape, incest, the life of the mother, those three exceptions. And you have the 15 weeks, some people say the 16 weeks, and you bring it back into the states, and this is where it should have been.
Imagine believing that you could go to a doctor with like a 7-month-old and go, "Doc, could you kill the baby?" And the doc goes, "Sure."
Somebody had to explain it. I said, maybe I'll do it today. The radicals are them because they'll kill the baby in the 9th month or beyond.
Yeah.
And we can't let that happen. No country in the world lets that happen. There's not a country in the world. So Arizona, they use that just as a fake excuse because they're going to lose big on crime. They're going to lose big on the economy. They're losing on almost everything. They lose on the military. Law enforcement hates them. They want to defund your police. So they have nothing going. So they thought maybe when the Supreme Court voted this way, they could use that as an issue. But it turns out, really, when you know about the real issue, it's very bad. So I've done the best I can to
What's he
explain
talking
it.
about?
But
Anybody
I really
know?
believe that it's something that, and many people do, you bring it back to the states. I happen to like the exceptions. Other people disagree with that. But it all
He
gets
likes
worked out. And what really I think you're going to vote for this time is crime and the economy and inflation and all of the horrible things that are happening to our country because our country has never been so low. In Arizona, you need to vote this extreme radical leftist Mark Kelly out of office. Earlier this week, Blake Masters.
Centrist.
Blake Masters, I got to see it a little later. I got to watch it last night. Who the hell was the third guy? Some guy kept interrupting. That's all right. I don't want
He's referring to the Libertarian candidate, who actually was quite entertaining. We streamed that debate live.
Like a nice man. But it was a little disconcerting. But I got to watch the debate, and Blake Masters absolutely annihilated Mark Kelly in their debate. Blake has had a tremendously successful career in a very complicated business of technology. He's a brilliant mind and a very brave heart and a patriot, and he's exactly the kind of new blood we need in the United States Senate. We need new blood. We need strong blood. We got to get rid of some of these rhinos, get them the hell out. Many times the rhinos are worse than the Democrats because you don't know where they're coming from, but we figured it out. Blake will make it his mission to restore the sovereign borders of Arizona and to protect the job, safety, and well-being of the people of your state. Right, Blake? I think that's something so important to Blake. I've spent a lot of time with Blake, and he is really a patriot, and he's a very smart guy. He's a tireless champion for free speech, election integrity, and for putting America first. So I would like to have Blake Masters come up just for a minute and say hello. He's already spoken, but say hello. And I hope you get out and vote for Blake. He's going to be great. Thank you.
Dear God. Remember, you've got to praise Trump.
Well, thank you, Mr. President. How much do we miss this guy? I mean, my gosh, really? Do you ever just stop to think, how much better were we off just 2 or 3 years ago?
Right.
We had a secure border. Crime was under control. You could actually afford to live. Prices were pretty low. Gas was $2. It was good. Let me tell you what, that doesn't happen by accident. That happened because of President Trump and his America First policies.
Wow.
It is that simple. And then what happened? Joe Biden happened. Mark Kelly happened. Just 22 months later, everything's on fire. Our southern border is a disaster. Crime keeps going up. The cost of groceries, actually the cost of every single thing you need to live, keeps going up and up and up. But you know what? We the people are waking up. We saw what successful leadership looks like. Looks a lot like President Trump. And now we see every day what failed Democrat leadership looks like. And so the choice is clear. President Trump saved this country once. I can't wait to see him do it again. What do you think?
Oh, boy.
Thank you.
He was on Message, at least. You go quick and you praise Trump. That's the only way.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Blake. That was great. You're going to win, Blake. You're going to win. You know, we talk about conservative. It's really common sense. What we need is common sense more than anything else. Blake, you're going to do great. This election day, you also have the chance to elect an America First all-star, a friend of mine. She's unbelievable as your governor.
Oh, boy.
Her name is Carrie Lake.
She is scary.
Arizona could not ask. Oh, you're so lucky. I see some of the people running in other places. I say, boy, is Arizona lucky. You're so lucky. But Arizona could not ask for a governor with more energy, passion, toughness, brilliance, and determination to secure your borders and stop violent crime and keep the radical Marxists away from your kids and restore election integrity. She's so strong on election, she knows what happened, and bring jobs and the opportunity. We want opportunity back for your state. Your state is taking a hit. Your gasoline prices are second right now. Think of it, second to California. You're going way over $5, and you're going to go up to $7, $8, $9, and I've been predicting it's happening.
Probably not.
Carrie will get up every single day. She will fight the media. She will fight and stand up to the Biden administration, and she will truly deliver for Arizona. When Carrie wins this November, the media's heads will absolutely explode. So that in itself.
Now, she may win. She's leading by 1, and she is scary extreme. Scary extreme. Arizonans must vote.
Just with absolutely no talent, with no personality, with no charisma, with no leadership ability. Her name is Katie Hobbs. She's a disaster. She's an open borders fanatic who denies there's even a small problem at the border. She was on the other day. Oh, I don't think we have a problem at the border. In other words, you have no choice. You have to get her out. She tried to defund the border strike force. She hates people like Brandon. She hates people like you, Brandon. I can't. That means I don't like her right there. She doesn't like Border Patrol. She doesn't like ICE. She doesn't like law enforcement. She supported Biden's repeal of my Title 42 protections. That's where, if you're not feeling too great, you don't come into our country. We did that during the China virus. I want to be accurate in my description of what it was. She opposes the wall. She voted to preserve sanctuary cities at a level that nobody fought harder than her for these sanctuary cities. And they're killing your state, killing our country. Katie Hobbs is proudly endorsed by 3 different defund the police groups. You know that? All the police officers. I got to take pictures with them out there. These are great people, strong. I got some of their hands. I got fingers like this, like that. I said, don't squeeze too tight, please, okay? My hand still hasn't recovered.
Hey, you know what I just noticed? What's this person doing? Are they just on their phone? Anybody know what's going on? Do not seem too engaged, that's for sure.
Fund the cartels. Katie Hobbs voted against a law to protect off-duty police officers, that's including ICE and Border Patrol, from assault. And she voted to start sex education in kindergarten. That's pretty young. And just this morning, she confirmed that she supports completely unrestricted abortion. In other words, 9 months and beyond. Think of it.
That's a kid?
You put the baby aside and then you execute the baby. Take a look at Virginia. Take a look at what happened with your past Democrat governor, who was a total whack job. We call him, remember Michael Jackson?
Whack job.
He said he imitated Michael Jackson when he put the blackface on, right? Can you imagine if I did that? I don't think I would. It wouldn't work too well. He got through it. He put blackface on. And then he wanted to try and do the moonwalk. And thank God for him, his wife stopped him. He was going to do a moonwalk to these totally crazy people. Look at all of them back there. I can't. And they're not leaving. That means we haven't been rough enough on them today. They're not leaving. That's a lot of press. Wow. I hope they're here for Blake and for Carrie. And I hope you're going to say how great they are. No, he wanted to imitate Michael Jackson by doing a moonwalk across the stage. And I was with a man named Baryshnikov once, and he said, you know, the truth, as great a dancer as he was, one of the greatest, probably the greatest ever, he said nobody could moonwalk like Michael Jackson. And this governor wanted to try and imitate Michael. That would have been a disaster. But his wife said, no, don't do it. She saved him. Last but not least, Katie Hobbs has been a disaster for election integrity. She's a crusader for rigged elections who fought the Arizona audit. She fought it every step of the way. And by the way, the real result of that audit...
We've started to get a little off the prompter, yeah.
Found tens of thousands of false votes, but the press never wanted to look at what they call the findings page, did they? Everybody get out and vote for this unbelievable star. I really believe she's going to be a big star of the country, not just the party. Carrie Lake. Carrie, please come up.
Here we go. Horrifying.
Oh, man. Arizona, you're too good to me. Do you love this guy or what?
She knows what to do.
President Trump loves Arizona, but President Trump, I think Arizona loves you even more. I really do. Is that right? Why wouldn't we love him? Think about, let's go back in history here, just a few years. Record low inflation. Our 401ks looked great. I just talked to a neighbor who's lost a third of his retirement savings since Joe Biden took office. We were doing great. Our kids were safe because our...
What's that guy invested in? Sounds like some bad choices.
Great times under President Trump. And we miss you so much, President Trump. Now, I got to tell you, I have some of these know-nothing consultants who tell me, you know, you really need to back away from President Trump right now. And I say to them, put down Hunter's crack pipe right now.
Oh, boy.
Wouldn't it be horrible? Wouldn't it be horrible? What would it say about my character if I stepped away from my friends? If I step away from my friends, that means I would step away from you, and I will never step away from the people of Arizona. And so for those know-nothing consultants and the media, I want to show you what it looks like when I step away from President Trump.
Oh, my God. This is cringy.
Thank you, Carrie.
Whoa. Sorry.
He's going to represent you long and hard. People were starting to come.
Oh, God. It's getting crazy.
Also with us tonight, thank you, Carrie. We love you. Special person, by the way. Get out. You got to vote these two. And now you're going to hear some other names that are incredible. But with us tonight is your next Attorney General, Abe Hamadeh, and he's great. He's great. He knows what to do, and he's going to get it all done. And a man who's extremely non-controversial. And you know the truth, he loves your state, he loves the country, he loves you. He's not, to me, there's no controversy at all. He's running for Secretary of State, he's leading everybody. Everybody loves him because he's a warrior. Mark Fincham. Mark. Sachin Tendulkar. I hear you're doing incredible, right?
My God.
I hear you're doing great. So bring it home, Mark. Very little time left. But you're leading in every poll, and that's good, but you're a warrior. And Abe, you're a warrior, so go get him. Thank you. A woman that I've also fallen in love with over a period of time. She's an incredible representative, and she will fight. She was involved with impeachment hoax number 1, impeachment hoax number 2, and I think nobody was tougher or smarter or better than Debbie Lesko. Congresswoman, our great Congresswoman. Thank you very much, Debbie. Great job you do. Another one, I could say the same thing, I think, here, Debbie, because this guy is special and he's my friend and he's tough and he loves the people in this audience and he loves both sides. He loves everybody. He wants the people of your state to be successful. He wants our country to be successful, and he's tough as hell. Andy Biggs.
Ooh.
Andy, thank you.
Horrible people.
Thank
Really
you, Andy.
horrible.
I like that hat. And a friend of Andy and Debbie and a friend of mine and somebody that fights about as hard as anybody can fight, Congressman Paul Gosar.
Ooh, horrible.
Great.
Radical, complete and total radical extremist. Really, really horrible. Horrible.
And a woman who's extremely low-key, very shy, very quiet. I wish she had a little more oomph. But actually, nobody has more oomph than Marjorie Taylor Greene. Marjorie.
And you can do that other thing normally, right? The third element of the bathroom.
Thank you, Marjorie. Great. And two people that are running for Congress that I think will win based on everything I'm seeing, Eli Crane and Kelly Cooper. And Eli, I've already endorsed. And you're knocking him dead. And
welcome to everybody joining us from the stream of Grandmaster Benjamin Feingold. Welcome, everybody. We are watching an old man essentially yell at proverbial clouds. That's more or less what we're watching here. I welcome you.
Great job, and we appreciate it. So those two we'll add to the...
All week we will have debates for 2022 candidates, so make sure you're following because the debates may actually be substantive. This is not substantive at all.
A couple of Democrats. Anyway, keep up the good work, everybody. Thanks, Debbie. A woman who's as strong as they come and as smart as they come and fought for election integrity, which people were starting to come. But she fought, and she has really proven the point, and it continues. Wendy Rogers. Wendy?
Yeah. Welcome,
Great job,
everybody.
Wendy. Great job. And a friend of mine and somebody that is very unsung because this man
is this Pillow?
Really, he's another warrior. And he's out there all the time, and he just works. He doesn't want to do anything but work. He just wants to get the job done. Sonny Borelli. Sonny? Thank you, Sonny.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sonny. State Senate candidates Anthony Kern, Robert Scantlebury, David Farnsworth. Oh, David. Oh, what a good deal, David. And Janae Shamp. David, you beat a certain man that was a super rhino, didn't you? You were the man that beat him. I endorsed David. You beat him.
What?
By what?
It's hard to tell who defeated whom when Trump tells these stories.
Big win. I was very proud. That was good. That's one you can put in your mantle. And in retrospect for him, look at him. He's central casting. It wasn't even hard. He's probably saying, that wasn't so hard. But the people they don't want the rhinos.
By the way, for everybody joining me, Mike Pillow, a.k.a. Mike Lindell, the CEO of My Pillow, will be joining me on Tuesday on the show.
Shelley Case. Shelley. Hi, Shelley. Great job. Thank you for all the help. We won it twice, and we did better the second time, Shelley. Ambassador Rick Grinnell, a fighter. Rick Grinnell. He's a great, great man, a great fighter, and he's got a lot of future. Another one with a lot of future, and a man who
He's got a fuchsia future. That's nice alliteration.
Cash Patel. Where's Cash? Thank you, Cash. And I introduced Joe Arpaio, but I'll introduce him again because there's nobody, I'm telling you, oh boy, if we had him at the border, we wouldn't even be up here talking. I'd also like to, while we can, please, Sheriff Mark Lamb. Sheriff? Where is Sheriff?
How many people has he recognized so far? 20? I mean, it's just endless and meaningless.
Central casting. And another man, he's the single greatest purchaser of ads in the history of our country, Mike Lindell.
Over 54 countries.
There must be a lot of money in pillows, because I've never seen anybody that could buy ads like that.
We're doing a class
But
action
he
lawsuit.
is a patriot.
Yep, and he'll be on the show joining me Tuesday. I plan to ask Mike Pillow, you know, Mike, you predicted Trump would be reinstated on December 4th, January 8th, January 19th, March 14th, April 18th, August, definitely by the fall, before Thanksgiving, by Christmas, by the end of the year, by the following April. What happened on March 26th that prevented the reinstatement?
Joined by two very special guests, the parents of an incredibly kind and brave young woman, a beautiful, unbelievable person who came from Arizona. And you know who we're talking about? Kayla Mueller. Kayla was a person who, after volunteering to provide humanitarian aid in Syria, she wanted to help people. It didn't have to be in Arizona. It didn't have to be in our country. Kayla wanted to help people. But she was kidnapped by ISIS and held captive directly by the ISIS leader, al-Baghdadi, who, as you remember, we gave him a bad send-off into hell. He was badly sent off. Kayla was a beautiful young woman, and al-Baghdadi spotted her, and they grabbed her, and she lived like hell. But what she's done is so incredible in so many other ways. In 2019, when you look at what took place with that attack and the attack that we did, and we named the attack and we named the number in honor of Kayla. And I'd like to just say that Carl and Marcia, her parents, are with us tonight. We started off today, and now we're tonight. Right. And I just would like to have them stand up. And if they'd like, they could come up, because as far as I'm concerned, you are real heroes. You produce somebody who is an incredible. Come on up. Come on up for a second. Come on up. Their daughter will never be forgotten. Kayla will never be forgotten. And we will vanquish radical Islamic terrorism from the face of the earth. Please. Thank you very much.
I'm not running for office, first of all, but if you want a president that cares about you and the average American, we can tell you firsthand, this man and the people that he puts together, they care. They have treated us like no other government agency, and we'd love to see him back in office. So let's all vote Republican.
Great people, unbelievable daughter, unbelievable person. When Republicans take back Congress this November, we will fight for the people of Arizona. We will win for the people of Arizona, we promise. One of the first things we must do is stand up for parents' rights. Can you believe I'm even saying that? We're going to fight for parents.
He's going to do the anti-trans rant now. Everybody get ready.
Fight for parents' rights. 10 years ago, if you said that, they'd say you're crazy.
My guess is he'll say the following.
No teacher should ever be allowed to teach transgender, which we had it out, and out of every part of our federal, state, and local governments. And at long last, every parent in America must be empowered to opt out of the forced indoctrination in the classroom and send their child to the public, private, charter, religious, or homeschool of their choice. We will also, this is very politically incorrect, but I will say it anyway, we will keep men the hell out of women's sports. No teacher should ever be allowed to teach transgender to our children without parental consent. If you can believe that one.
Some teachers are teaching cherry, just about the fruit. They're teaching cherry.
Another one of our highest priorities under a Republican Congress will be to stop left-wing censorship and restore free speech. These people, free speech in America. So go out and sign up now for Truth Social. It's the hottest thing. It's doing a great job. And frankly, I think the engagement is much, much better than Twitter, which is being obliterated as we speak. And everywhere the Republican Party has...
Truth Social is about to go completely bankrupt.
Forms including universal voter ID, citizenship confirmation, if that's okay. In other words, we'd like to know that you're a citizen. They don't want to do that. Can you imagine? They don't want to know that you're a citizen of the United States before you vote. No more fake drop boxes, no private money pouring into local election offices. 417 million came in from one person. What a crooked deal that was. And ultimately, we need same-day voting with only paper ballots. That's what we need.
Remember, Trump voted weeks early.
France.
By mail.
36 million people voted, Carrie. They had no problem. They had a winner, they had a loser. Everybody went home at 11 o'clock, and that was the end of that. They didn't fight about it for years, and all the things that we found out you wouldn't believe. I mean, you know, most of you know. They stuffed the paper, the ballot boxes. You know, there's so many things. There were so many ways of cheating. But we're just 30 days away from the most important midterm election in American history. And we need a landslide so big that the radical left, they just can't. The radical left cannot.
That's a double glitch right there.
That the radical left does not rig or steal your election. In many ways, it's the thing I'm most worried about, because I think you have candidates that can't lose. But there's an expression that is often used, and we saw it in 2020, that the vote counter is oftentimes far more important than the candidate. We cannot let that happen. We cannot let that happen. And a very good thing would be...
This is a crowd that understands history.
And I believe Carrie feels this, and Abe and everyone else. But if you can, vote on Election Day in person.
Yeah. Hey, this is funny. Plaid Pancakes just gifted a Twitch subscription to the actual Congressman Matt Gaetz on Twitch, who now is actually on Twitch.
Very much to your benefit. In fact, that happened in the primary. Carrie was losing it. We're worried. I'd say, what's going on? And then all of a sudden, an explosion happened, and you won easily, right? Because they voted on Election Day. But I hope they're going to do that again. Vote on Election Day as opposed to sending in a potentially fake ballot.
Potentially.
Whatever you do, get out and vote. This is the year we're going to take back the House. We're going to take back the Senate. We're going to take back America. And in 2024, most importantly, we are going to take back our magnificent, our beautiful, our incredible White House. We're going to take it back.
Is he winding down? That would be
Together
great.
we will fight for more jobs for American families, fair trade for American workers, and more American factories forging more products stamped with that beautiful phrase, made in the USA. You saw President Biden yesterday. You saw that, right? He said, I just want people to remember two words, right? I just want people to remember two words, made in America. Remember, he said this. That's what he said. I said, was he kidding? And then he said, no, he wasn't. Well, that took place yesterday. We will shut down Biden's border disaster reinstitute our strong remain in Mexico policy. Not easy to get that. How do you tell Mexico we want everybody to stay in your country, not ours? But I got it, and I got it strong. Strengthen the Patriots of ICE and Border Patrol, Brandon, and we will again end catch and release. We will end chain migration. We will end the visa lottery, which is a disgrace. And we will clamp down on illegal immigration just like we did less than 2 years ago when we had the safest border in the history of our country. We will stop the crime wave in Democrat-run cities.
All right, what do people think in chat? Is he skipping the QAnon music piece today, or is he going to do it?
Away from our police. They want to take protection away so that the police officer can individually be sued. Can you believe this? We will restore law and order in America. A Democrat's not even allowed to use that phrase. They'll be ridden out of the party. We will hold China accountable for unleashing the virus upon the world. They will be in some form accountable. We will defend our Constitution. We will defend the Second Amendment, which is under siege. And we will proudly uphold the Judeo-Christian values and principles of our nation's founding. We will restore patriotic education to our schools, and we will teach our children to love their country, honor our history, and to always respect our great American flag. In conclusion, our MAGA movement, Make America Great Again, is by far the greatest political movement in the history of our country. Together we are standing up against some of the most menacing forces, entrenched interests, and vicious opponents our people have ever seen. Despite great outside dangers, our biggest threat remains the sick, sinister, demented, and evil people from within our country. You saw some of them up on the screen, didn't you? But no matter how big or powerful the corrupt radical left Democrats that we are fighting against may be, you must never forget this nation does not belong to them. This nation belongs to you and you and you. This nation belongs to you.
Wow.
This nation belongs to you. This is your home, this is your heritage, and our American liberty is your God-given right. From Phoenix to Sedona, from Flagstaff to Florence, and from Yuma to right here in Mesa.
Mesa.
I love Mesa.
Mesa.
I love it.
It's actually closer to the real pronunciation in Spanish, right? Mesa. That's shocking.
And they work hard, too. They work hard. We stand on the shoulders of red-blooded American patriots who poured out their heart, sweat, and soul for our country and for our freedom. This great state was settled by some of the toughest men and strongest women ever to walk the face of the earth.
He says that in every
Arizona
state.
is where Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday became American legends. Wow. Wow, that's pretty cool. It's where the great American West became the American dream. It started here. And Arizona is the state where generations of pioneers and prospectors, miners and ranchers, cowboys and cattle hands, marshals and lawmen, we have a lot of them with us tonight, thank you, tamed the frontier, braved the blazing sun, and showed the entire world how the West was won.
Right.
They gave everything they had to make America into the greatest nation in the history of the world.
Oh, he's doing it. He's doing it. It's getting culty.
But now we are a nation in decline. We are a failing nation. We are a nation that has the highest inflation in 50 years, and where the stock market finished the worst first half of the year since 1872. Likewise, we are a nation that has the highest energy cost in its history. We are no longer energy independent or energy dominant, as we were just 2 short years ago. We are a nation that is begging Venezuela, Saudi Arabia, and many other nations for oil.
This is scary.
Please, please, please help us, Joe Biden says. Yet we have more liquid gold right under our feet than any other country. We are a nation that is consumed by the radical left's Green New Deal. Yet everyone knows that the Green New Deal will lead to our destruction. We are a nation whose leaders are demanding all electric cars, even though they can't go far, cost too much, whose batteries are produced in China with materials only available in China, when an unlimited amount of gasoline is available inexpensively.
There is not unlimited gasoline, guys. 80% of Norwegian new car sales are electric.
We are a nation that ended oil exploration and production in the United States just as the price of oil reached an all-time high. What other country would do such a thing. We are a nation that surrendered in Afghanistan, leaving behind dead soldiers, American citizens, and $85 billion worth of the finest military equipment anywhere in the world. And we are a nation that allowed Russia to devastate a country, Ukraine, killing hundreds of thousands of people, and it will only get worse. It would have never happened with me as your
really moving stuff.
Ever, and it didn't for 4 straight years. And China with Taiwan is next.
Is this woman genuinely about to cry? What on earth is going on?
Party like never before. We've got a Federal Bureau of Investigation that won't allow bad election-changing facts to be presented to the public, where Hunter Biden's laptop from hell was Russian disinformation when the FBI...
Hard to imagine there would be a dry eye in the House with something this moving. Oh boy.
Refuses to investigate egregious acts of voting irregularities and fraud.
Egregious.
And we have a president who is cognitively impaired and in no condition to lead our country, and is now casually talking about nuclear war with Russia, which would be World War III and far more devastating than any of the previous wars because of the weaponry that no one even wants to think about or discuss. We are a nation that no longer has a free press. Fake news is all you get, and they are truly the enemy of the people. We are a nation where free speech is no longer allowed, where crime...
Is this person right here praying or sleeping? I can't tell. Or just on their phone.
COVID in 2021 than in 2020. We are a nation that is allowing Iran to build a massive nuclear weapon and China to use the trillions of dollars it has taken from us to build a military to rival our own. And just 2 years ago, we had Iran, China, Russia, and North Korea in check. They weren't going to do a thing against us, and everyone knows it. And perhaps most importantly, we are a nation that is no longer respected or listened to around the world. We are a nation that in many ways has become a joke, and we are a nation that is hostile to liberty, freedom, and faith. We are a nation whose economy is collapsing into a cesspool of ruin, whose supply chain is broken, whose stores are not stocked, whose deliveries are not coming, and whose educational system is ranked at the...
Will he do the airplanes thing where flights are canceled sometimes or late?
A nation where large packs of sadistic criminals and thieves are allowed to go into stores and openly rob them, beat up and kill their workers and customers, and leave with armloads of goods, but with no retribution, where the authority of our great police has been taken, where their families and pensions have been threatened, and their lives would be destroyed for the mere mention of the words law enforcement. We are a nation where fentanyl and all other forms of illegal drugs are easier to get than formula for our beautiful little babies. A nation whose once revered airports are dirty.
Here it is.
They're a crowded mess. You sit and wait for hours and then are notified that the plane won't leave, and they have no idea when it will, where ticket prices have tripled. They don't have the pilots to fly the planes. They don't seek qualified air traffic controllers anymore.
And the chicken at Chipotle at the airport is brought in pre-seasoned, not genuinely cooked to order.
It's confidence, it's willpower, and its strength. We are a nation that has lost its way, but we are not going to allow this horror to continue. 2 years ago, we were a great nation, and we will soon be a great nation again.
Right. Very soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 45th president.
You who built
the hell
this
was that?
country, and it is hardworking
What was
patriots
that?
like
I didn't
you
play that.
who are going to save our country.
What the hell
We will
was
stand
that?
up to the radical left Democrats and the dangerous, unpatriotic rhinos, and we will fight for America like no one has ever fought before. There is no mountain we cannot climb. There is no summit we cannot reach.
What a mess.
There is no challenge we cannot meet. There is no victory we cannot have.
I did not do that.
We will
guys.
not bend. We will not break. We will not yield. We will never give in. We will never give up. And we will never, ever back down. As long as we are confident, united, and loyal to the cause, the tyrants we are fighting do not stand a chance of victory. Because we are Americans, and Americans kneel to God and God alone. The silent majority is back and stronger than ever before.
Right.
My fellow citizens, this incredible journey we are on together has only just begun, and it is time to start talking about greatness for our country again. We are one movement, one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. So with the help of everyone here today and the citizens all across our
How did everyone know to stand then?
America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again.
How stupid.
And we will make America great again. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
And they did cut the mic too soon, too. That was everything about it's weird. What a mess, huh? Truly embarrassing. Really, really, really embarrassing. But there's people who love this crap. They really do. Well, listen. I appreciate everybody joining me. Tomorrow night, we will hopefully have a little more substance. It'll be the J.D. Vance versus Tim Ryan debate. One of the most important Senate races going on. It'll be completely bonkers, I predict. And that'll be at 6:30 p.m. East tomorrow. I hope you will all join me. I really, really, really do. Oh, hold on. There's another one of these COVID conspiracy theorists. This is their first chat ever, and they are banned. Man, a lot of really, really crazy stuff in the chat. We've had to ban so many people today. It's really insane. All right, everybody. I'll see everybody tomorrow. Okay, stream tomorrow. We have debates almost every day of the week. Look forward to seeing you. Let's do the whole thing. Thank you.
Trump was doing this with his personal toilet.
But sinks, toilets, and showers.
Elements in bathrooms.
10 times, 15 times.
Elements in bathrooms.
We're looking very strongly at sinks and showers.
Elements in bathrooms.
10 times, 15 times.
Elements in bathrooms.
What on earth is going on with Trump and toilets? Trump's White House toilet would be clogged